Hey guys, what's up? Assalamu alaikum. My name is Fatih Patan. If you also want to earn money online, then this guide is just right for you. Over a year ago, I started building my own community. We are now over 150 men. I have 5 stable moderators. We have the perfect onboarding process. Back then, we ourselves wanted the opportunity to earn money online quickly and easily without having to pay some people 10,000 euros for it. We have a community, we have a proof of concept. Join my group and let yourself be convinced by the results. Let's go, champ. If you want to benefit from the collective experience and knowledge of the other members and from the support of my moderators, then you need to be a part of my community, Team Fatih Patan. To become a part of Team Fatih Patan, you need a computer with at least 16 gigabytes of RAM. Additionally, on top of that, you also need an eBay account. Here we can start the process with a personal account. We will then switch it to a business account. Additionally, you also need an Amazon account and/or an AliExpress account. You also need the EcomSniper software, and there you have to select me as your coach. Once you have selected me as your coach, you will then join my public Telegram group. There, you let us know that you have purchased the software, and one of my members will then carry out the onboarding with you. Congratulations, you have purchased the software. Very important, champ, so that we can onboard you and you get the best possible service. Pay attention to my words. You have already received an email and a WhatsApp message. The most important thing is, so that we can even get in touch with you, you need to join my Telegram group. In this email or in the WhatsApp message, you will find the link. Just click on it once and scroll through a bit. You should be able to find a welcome message somewhere. For example, here, "Hey, Fatih P, are you here?" And then I wrote in, "I bought Fatih Plus." Scroll up a bit further. There should definitely be a message from you somewhere as well. For example, here is a message from Janice. Janice then wrote, "Janice bought Plus." Once you have reached out to me in the public Telegram group, it is very important that you schedule a formal consultation call with Justin. Justin will later add you to the member group as well. And if you have any questions or problems with your setup, Justin can help you out as well. To do this, you just need to click on the link here, simply choose a suitable time for you depending on Justin's availability and sign up there. You will receive an email, and through this email you can later join the call with Justin. Look, your success is our advertisement. We won't leave you on your own. Once you have listed your first item on eBay and joined the member group, you can then participate in the regularly scheduled team calls. We have a team call 3 times a week. You can have your account checked at any time there. You can always exchange ideas with the other members there. If you have questions or problems, join in, we'll sort it out together. The team calls currently take place 3 times a week, on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Sundays. You can also use the search function here. For example, just type in business registration and the results should appear right away. That's all from my side. See you in the team calls. It is very important. Join my public Telegram group, write your name plus purchased, book an onboarding call with Justin, do all of your homework, list your first item on eBay, join the team calls, have your account checked, and God willing, you'll have your sale within 48 hours if you've done your homework. Take care and I will see you soon. Assalamu alaikum. Then you should begin working on your homework with this course so that we can review your account together in the next team call. Your success is truly our very best advertisement. Let's go, champ. This is very important, friends. You must work cleanly from the outset. In the near future, your Google setup should look exactly like this. Your eBay accounts must be set up in separate profiles. Your Amazon accounts must also be set up in separate profiles. And your AliExpress accounts must be set up in separate profiles as well. Most of you are already logged into a Google profile with a Gmail account. Here it is very important, my friends. For step number 1, you must add a new Chrome profile. Otherwise, I can also add a new profile here via the Google Chrome settings menu. Stay signed out. Here I select Google as the search engine and set it as the default. Now I enter eBay 1. For eBay, I always like to use the color red. Once I have successfully created the new profile, the eBay one, it is very important that I now log into ebay.de. It's very important here, my friends, that we make sure to accept the cookies. If you don't have an eBay account yet, that's absolutely no problem. We're going to create one right now. If you already have an eBay account, the older it is, the better. We have a plan. Listen to me carefully. In the long run, of course, you'll need to switch to a business account. However, it doesn't make sense if you're not yet sure that you're absolutely convinced by this business model. That's why I always tell people, look, you have nothing to lose. Start with a personal account. Test the software. You have your money back guarantee. You can see how much you earn in the first month. You have a 30-day money back guarantee. I always tell people, here, get started, test the system for 30 days. If on the 29th day you realize that you're dissatisfied and or that you haven't earned enough, you can still cancel everything at any time and get your money back from EcomSniper. If you already have an eBay account, then that's perfect. The older the better. If you don't have a personal eBay account yet, that's absolutely no problem. We're going to set up an eBay account together right now. If you're already an active eBay seller and already operating commercially, then unfortunately you've missed out on something. We have a specific roadmap here. We have a specific method here. We believe that we can get the maximum out of your eBay account, including profit. Since in Germany you can register your business retroactively for 3 months, including taxation, I always recommend people to start with a personal account. First, try out whether this is something that works for you. See if you make enough cash with it. See if the system is suitable for you. See if you can find 2 hours a day for your online business. As soon as you notice, hey, this is getting serious, as soon as you realize, hey, I'm making profits here, you have to register everything anyway and switch to a business account. If you're already operating as a business, then unfortunately you've missed out on something. A private eBay account has several advantages. First, you don't pay any listing fees and you also don't pay any commissions when you sell something. Commercial sellers, on the other hand, pay fees per sale. Depending on which category you sold in, it is often much more beneficial for you to start with a private account at first. This way, you can gradually establish and warm up your eBay account, properly prepare the eBay algorithm, and then in the coming weeks and months. Once you've started, you can switch over to a business account and already have a highly converting eBay account when you finally make the switch. When we then switch to a business account, it's also very important that you remain profitable. That's why it makes more sense to scale things up with a warmed-up private eBay account. Let's go, friends. If you don't have an eBay account yet, we first need to create an eBay account. Easy going. For this, I enter my information here and click on Create Private eBay Account. After that, I have to verify my identity. Next, a valid phone number needs to be added to your account. Once you have entered the phone number, you will need to confirm the security code. After you have entered the security code, your brand new eBay account is officially created. At the very beginning, eBay assigns you a random username generated by an automated system. You can change that in the future. Now, this is very important, my friends. Once you have logged into your eBay account, click on Sell and then select Overview. Right here, you will need to verify your physical address once again. Once you have successfully verified your address, it is very important, my friends, that we take a moment to create a bookmark. By default, the system is set to Other Bookmarks. You will need to change that setting to the Bookmarks bar. After that, I am simply going to name it eBay so it is easy to find. To make sure the bar is always displayed here, you need to click on the 3 dots, then Bookmarks and Lists. Up here, you'll see Show Bookmarks bar. With the right mouse button, you can also disable the tab groups again so that only eBay is shown here. Please pay attention to this, friends. It's very important. We have years of experience with this. In the future, you need to be able to switch back and forth quickly and easily. That's why it's important that we use bookmarks here. What have we done so far? First, we created a brand new profile for eBay. Inside that profile, we logged into ebay.de, navigated to the Sell section, and then Overview. And finally, we saved all of this as a bookmark in the Bookmarks bar, labeling it eBay. Done. Now, I also need to install the EcomSniper plugin here in my profile. Here, you first need to sign in to your personal EcomSniper profile. Once you are logged into the EcomSniper dashboard, navigate over to the section labeled Downloads on the left, then download the eBay Lister extension right here. After you have finished downloading the plugin, you first need to extract this zip file. To do this, you can either double-click, right-click, and copy the file, or you could also right-click and select the Extract All option. Once you have extracted everything here, take a look inside. There's eBay Lister, and inside that folder is eBay Lister 4. First, I copy this specific folder. Navigate over to my Documents folder, paste the folder right there, and then I simply rename this eBay Lister folder to Plugins. That means documents, then there's a folder called plugins, and inside the plugins folder is the eBay Lister 4 folder. The order is also very important. Now I can add the plugin to my eBay One profile in Google. To do this, I go to the three dots, click on Extensions, then Manage Extensions. Then up here on the right, I activate Developer Mode, then click on Load Unpacked Extension, and there again go to Documents, Plugins. Now I simply select eBay Lister 4 and click on Select Folder. Now the plugin should automatically load in here. Google Docs is included by default. You can also remove that. We don't need it. When I have integrated the EcomSniper plugin, it's very important, friends, that we also pin it. You have to make sure to click on it on a regular basis, and it is easier if it appears right here. Once you have pinned the plugin, you need to log in again here with your EcomSniper account, and by default, you have the USA template active. We need to switch everything over to Germany. For that, we first need to acquire a German flag. To do this, I will simply search for Germany Wiki, click on the German flag, right-click it, copy the image address, then go back here, right-click to paste the link, and hit save. Afterwards, looking at the market in Germany, we have simply found that the prices in these listings should end with 95 cents. And you shouldn't list with a margin of 120% right away, but rather with a margin of 30%. What exactly does that mean? For example, if something costs 10 euros on Amazon or AliExpress, then the software lists it with a margin of 30%. That would be then, for example, 13. Or in this case, it would then make it 12.95. Very important, pay attention to this, friends, so we can warm up the account. We'll scale up later. We start with 30 to 50%, then go up to 60 to 80 and continue with 120. At some point, you'll be at a margin of 150%. However, this only works for eBay shops with over 15,000 items and so on. That's why, my friend, step by step. Stick to the plan. Patience is the solution. Patience is the key. Once you have changed the flag, set the margin, and adjusted the price change to 95 cents, it is very important that we select the correct eBay domain here. Since we are currently on eBay Germany, it is very important that you make sure to select ebay.de here. For all other candidates participating from other countries, such as eBay Italy, eBay France, eBay Spain, eBay Canada, and so on, it is very important that you select your domain here. Otherwise, everything else is basically the same. eBay Germany, very important, friends. Enable Vero protection, that stays enabled. Auto-submit listing. I wouldn't recommend modifying these two checkboxes, but I would definitely like to take a moment to update my Vero database. This Vero database contains specific products and brands that have been officially reported directly to our team and are generally considered suspicious. We also have a research team. There are some items that you shouldn't sell. It's very important that you update your Vero database daily. Why? The EcomSniper software then ensures that at-risk products are not listed. It's also important for you that if you notice anything suspicious, please report it to the EcomSniper team or to my moderators. Once you have updated the Vero database, the next step is to activate an image template. For the image template, you first need to check the box located down here. Once you have checked this box, simply click on the button to open image template. Here it gives you the note, hey, you don't have a template yet. That's not a problem, that's why we're doing this. Click here on Add Placeholder. Once something has been added, you will need to neatly center it here, drag it across, and simply save the whole thing. Once you have set the image template as well, I would highly recommend unchecking these two specific boxes. They are not really needed for our purposes right now either. Afterwards, I would right-click on the plugin here and go to the Options menu once again. Right there at the bottom, this is a very important step. Select Remove Shipping and disable the thank you message. I would deactivate this part and then save everything. Here in this options area, you can also make some additional settings such as adjusting the AI prompt for the titles or the product description. Together with the community, we have already developed the best prompt in our group. I would also go ahead and copy that in here. Right now, once I have inserted the prompt here, I only want to adjust the prompt for the titles. It is very important that I need to check a box here. I'm not going to adjust the prompt for the description. I know that the one from EcomSniper works very well. However, many of our members have also adjusted it again. But that's not important for the beginning. For now, I would only adjust the title. As I said, just put the prompt in there. You can find it in my Telegram group. Then go ahead and check these 3 boxes here and simply save all of these settings. Now I'm completely finished with the settings for the EcomSniper plugin. For now, at this point it is crucial that I connect everything with my eBay account. We have now completed the settings for the EcomSniper plugin. Now I still need to make a few settings on my eBay account. That's very important, friends. All of the basic terms and conditions can be found right here under the settings menu. However, if you don't happen to find any basic conditions here, it's simply because you first need to list your first item here. This is a brand new account after all. This is exactly the reason why eBay wants you to list an item first. There, you will also need to verify your IBAN details once more. Once you have your first item online, several functions, such as the basic conditions on eBay, will be fully unlocked for your use. To demonstrate this, I will now list a test item first. Nathan the Wise. That was already a standard requirement in the last course. From there, I will go ahead and select the book. Very good. Once you have arrived on this specific page, it is very important that you switch to the advanced selling form at the top right corner. After you have done that, you should notice a different view. Next, we scroll down and you will need to enter some specific information there. Otherwise, your account will be banned immediately, even if it's just for testing purposes. Here, you can simply copy the description from eBay with the right mouse button and paste it here. For testing purposes, I'll set it to $99 and list this item on eBay. That's exactly what I meant earlier. eBay requires you to verify your identity again. Here, I'll have to enter my date of birth and then confirm all these details once more. Here we receive another security code. After you have successfully entered the security code, the item should be online. Very important, friends. We only listed this item so that we could unlock some additional features on eBay. If you take a look now under your account settings, some new features should have appeared. Once you have unlocked the new features, you first need to make some important changes here under your seller settings. Very important, friends. We want to set up automatic feedback. Our eBay account should automatically leave feedback after the buyer has paid for the item. Afterwards, it is very important that we click on Listings Remain Active when the item is out of stock here. Buyers can see how many items are left. That is also very important. Also, friends, I would recommend that you check Receive Detailed Invoice by email as well. And very important, friends, settings for unpaid items. Automatically cancel unpaid purchases. I would also enable this. Afterwards, I would click on Relist Automatically here and save everything. Very important. We also need to configure and set up the settings for returns so that we have the option to add a return number, RMA, to every single return label ourselves. This definitely needs to be checked as well. Afterwards, I can now go to the business policies. Here, we need to create one each for payment, returns, and shipping. Even if we have already configured these settings here under the seller settings, I also need to make sure to request the buyer's phone number again under the shipping settings. This is important for our customer service. It can also be important for the supplier. Now I can create the business policies. There are a total of 3 different business policies that you will need to create. One for shipping and another one for your payment. Here I simply name the policy payment. Here it's only important that we do not accept cash on collection. Buy it now items must be paid for immediately. Once you've done that, you can create the next policy, returns. Here I also simply refer to it as returns. Accept returns within the country. Very important, it is free for the buyer. You pay. That means we cover the return shipping costs for the seller. You are not selling internationally yet. Later, when you switch to a business account, you will need to copy the cancellation policy in here. That is also very important. However, with a private account, it is not necessary yet. Here as well, make sure to save. Last but not least, the shipping policy is still missing. Pay attention here, friends. Let's select parcel shipping, 1 to 2 days, offer free shipping, and set the handling time to 2 days. That's perfectly fine. Now comes the most important part, friends. Please pay attention to this. A lot of people make mistakes here. First, you need to deselect islands. Also, you don't want to sell internationally. And very importantly, for Europe, he has only left the box for Russia unchecked. That means he would still be selling to eBay Albania, or at least offering shipping services to Albania. To fix this, you need to click on Europe again, and the second time it will then select all European countries. We don't need South America either. PO boxes and parcel stations are perfectly fine. In the end, it should say exactly plus 220 here. If you have that, it's correct, then we also click on Save. Now I have created terms and conditions for my eBay shop. Very important, friends. For these terms to take effect, we would now need to create another item. By the way, we had to create this specific item so that all of the functions would be unlocked. Now we would need to list a new item. Why? So that these general conditions will always apply in the future. We will set that while we are listing the new item. eBay always remembers the last step. That means in the future, when the software lists new items, it remembers how you listed the last item. That's why we now need to list another test item. However, before we list the second test item so that we can select the general conditions, it's very important that we now switch to the eBay Seller Hub. The eBay Seller Cockpit offers a completely different view than the overview shown here. You can activate the eBay Seller Cockpit by following the specific link provided right here. ebay.d/sh/ovw. At this stage, you would have to confirm one more time that you truly want to switch over to the Seller Cockpit Pro. Once you've done that, you'll have a much nicer and much more detailed overview of your account right here. Now, what you really should do, and this is actually very important, is to also save this specific Seller Cockpit directly into your bookmarks bar. Once it is there, I simply name it Seller Cockpit, and then I go ahead and delete the old eBay bookmark. Now, whenever I click on it, this eBay cockpit should be immediately visible to you. When you have successfully activated the eBay cockpit, several additional features will also be unlocked for you, just like what happened before with the business policies. Once you have activated the seller cockpit, we should now list the second item. To do this, I go to Sell again, click on Create Listing, Single Listing, and, very important, this time we select the Harry Potter book. Very important, friends. This only works if you have activated the seller cockpit. It won't work before that point. You would need to activate the SQ function right here. Once you've done that, we scroll down. Here too, we would also need to include a detailed description. For that, I simply use the description from eBay. Right-click to copy, then paste it down here. Also, very important, friends, here we now need to select a condition. We already created a condition called payment in the business policies. That's what I need to select now. Then we also created a condition for shipping. You need to select that here. Additionally, we also had a return policy condition. You can do that right here under settings, where you'll be able to select your return policy. This is very important, friends. Just as I mentioned earlier, the SKU function must be activated. You need to select the 3 specific conditions, and now you can list the second free item. As for these 2 specific test items, on the other hand, we don't really need them anymore at this point. You can simply go ahead and end them right here. That was only important so that we could properly configure the EcomSniper plugin and our eBay profile. Now that my eBay is also successfully set up, I can finally start creating my very first product listings on eBay. Now it gets interesting. Now we need to list products. You need awesome products. You need products that sell really well. You need products, the so-called winning products. Finding winning products is no problem at all with EcomSniper. With just a few simple clicks, we can find the best-selling products on the market today. Additionally, with the help of EcomSniper, we can easily identify and locate these products on other major platforms like AliExpress and Amazon. Find them at a significantly lower price point, and then relist them in our own online shop using EcomSniper. Currently, Amazon has over 100 million different products in stock. AliExpress has over 600 million products in stock, so why should I introduce a new product, my friends? I make my money as a reseller. I identify products that have already successfully established themselves in the market. I look for these products on various other platforms at significantly lower prices. Check the prices at which other sellers are offering them, and in this way, I successfully attain my margin. However, in order to manage all of this, you need specialized software. EcomSniper is not just the only tool on the market like AutoDS and other platforms, for example. Scogrid.com. That was the most well-known one back then, so to speak. All the pros know it, but they've stopped using it. They've basically gone end of support. And these professional users, you have to keep in mind, that was the Mercedes of the market. The Mercedes of the market, in turn, recommends you some alternatives. And as you can clearly see, there are also other products and tools available right here. And they also suggest AutoDS or EcomSniper and Zig Analytics, for example. Everything else is fake, everything else is a copycat, all the other tools are from malicious people who just want to scam you, they've stolen the code. These are people who overnight thought, come on, I'll just take the code from EcomSniper, put it into ChatGPT, make a much nicer GUI, and then sell a new product under the name of a German company or something similar. Don't let yourselves be fooled, friends. As I said, listen to the professionals, listen to those who know what they're talking about, do a bit of research, and SQ Grid, as I mentioned, was the Mercedes of the market. They've stopped now. They, in turn, also had quite a few customers, so they also bear responsibility, and of course, they want to guide their own fans and customers in the right direction. As you can see, even here, EcomSniper has already been on the market for several years. In any case, guys, don't let yourselves be fooled. Join my public Telegram community, Team Fatih Patan. I have 5 moderators there. We answer your questions at any time. If you have any problems, just let us know. I can't believe it. I keep experiencing this over and over again. Former members of mine who couldn't even make 1,000 gross with their own eBay account are now acting as dropshipping coaches. That's why, friends, don't let yourselves be fooled. God will take care of the rest. We want to find high-demand products on eBay to list in our own online shop so that as resellers, we can basically make our profit. To find these good products, we also need good sellers. I use different keywords depending on the season. For example, we recently had Valentine's Day. It's very important that you first switch to buy it now here. Many use ending soonest. Aim for best results. Buy it now is best. What to watch? I prefer sellers with 2,000 reviews and a good product. This one has only 1,067 reviews. That one has 4,000, which works better. I'll save this eBay seller with the disc icon and continue. I also like this product. The seller has over 2,000 reviews. I like this product too. Not bad either, but I had already saved this one, as you can see. I like this one too. Once I have successfully saved all of the eBay sellers, I can now click on Open Competitor Research via the EcomSniper plugin. I also save the whole thing here in the bookmarks bar, since I will be frequently returning to use it more often in the future. And now, in principle, I could also conveniently toggle back and forth between these views here, friends. This is very important for your workflow. If this Google Translate message pops up, I always do this. Never translate this website. After that, it will never appear on your screen again. As you can clearly see, the sellers, those specific eBay sellers that I saved earlier, are now appearing right here. I could also, in principle, edit everything here manually, and that's very important, friends. Now, first of all, we are going to scan these sellers so that we get to know them. It's very important that we activate the sales history, and we should also select at least the last 7 days here. Scanning speed is always set to a maximum of 5 anyway. However, it won't work like this. You have to do something beforehand, and that's very important. Friends, that's where a lot of people always make mistakes. You have to go to Customize here first, very important, and select item number here. Then you have to apply the change here. In the future, you should always be able to see the item number here as well. Click here on this. Check how many sold. A tab will open and then it should close. If no table is displayed down here, then you've made a mistake. As I said, the table will only be displayed if you go to Customize here and activate item number. Pay attention to that, friends. I can close this tab again. Afterwards, I would refresh here again. As mentioned, set Get Total Sold History to On, the last 7 days. Scanning speed at 5. I have currently 5 sellers in the list, and I start at position 1. Now I can start the whole thing. Several tabs should now open. What exactly is happening here? The software goes in and checks, what does this happy shop have? Which products has this happy shop sold in the last few days? Additionally, it goes in and counts individually again which product was sold, how often, and when. The whole thing is then automatically implemented into the software. This step now takes a little while, so we have to be patient, of course. This is very important, friends. Success isn't a coincidence. Success is a guarantee if you know what you're doing every now and then. Security measures from eBay pop up where they want you to confirm your identity. Of course, EcomSniper also carries out the whole process automatically. You really don't have to do anything. Please be patient and don't think that the software has a problem or anything like that. Just be patient and the whole process should go through. Patience is the key, friends. So apparently it is now done with the scanning process. Completed extraction. When I'm done with the scan, I can simply go here under Show All Items to see what these 5 sellers have successfully sold on eBay over the past 7 days. That's a total of 820 products. However, as you can see, there are some products included here, like this product, for example. This is an LED flashlight. He has only sold this product 3 times in the last 3 months. This tool, on the other hand, has sold 30 times in the last 3 months. Now you can probably imagine that if you also list this tool here, it would most likely sell more often and in greater quantities than these LED flashlights. That means we now want to filter again and take a closer look. Which of these 820 are actually the top sellers? For this, I recommend at least 5 sales in 3 days, then use filters for the whole thing. Confirm again. As you can see, out of the 820 items, only 8 are left. These 8 products are the ones that remain here. These are my winning products, and I'm pretty sure that if I list these items correctly and professionally on eBay right now, I will be able to sell them successfully as well. In order to find these products on other platforms, it is extremely important that I carefully copy the titles from here. Once I have copied the titles, then, as I said before, I was previously in the competitor scanner, or rather, here in competitor research. Now that I have the titles, I can start using the product hunter. Let's also save this link right here in the bookmarks bar for now. Now I can proceed to insert all of the content here, specifically referring to the titles. At this stage, I would double check once more that we only select the option to only get Chinese items. Why? Because in Germany, we first want to find only the Chinese manufacturers on Amazon. Why? With Chinese manufacturers, you have absolutely no issues regarding the images and also no legal actions. The reason for this is simple. Friends, it's about the images. In Germany, we don't have any rights, and most Chinese manufacturers have absolutely no problem with it if you use their images. But if you want to use German products from Amazon or AliExpress or a German source, then I definitely recommend that you first have the images edited by the AI software EcomSniper. I'll show you how that works later on, but for now, it's very important that you first learn the software, the methodology, the system, and the principle. That's why I'm showing you all the options, meaning we want to be on the safe side to start with. To start, you should only select Chinese manufacturers. As I said, you need to check this box here, and afterwards you can start the search by clicking on search titles. Now Amazon tabs should open here. As you can see, the product hunter is currently searching for suitable products on Amazon.de. This is very important. Friends, I mentioned this right at the beginning as well. You must never be logged into Amazon.de. If you are logged in, then you will never get results here. If you find any results. In general, you should never log into this eBay profile with your own personal accounts or access your Amazon account. This eBay profile is specifically for your eBay account. Now, we will wait until the search process is complete for the products. To do this, it was very important that we first copy the titles using the competitor scanner located under the competitor research section. However, it is very important that we don't just take any titles, but filtered ones, as you may recall. If you remember, there were a total of 820 products here. But what I actually wanted were the winning products, or to find the best sellers. For that, I filtered for a minimum of 5 sold in the last 3 days. That left me with 8. I then copied out these 8 items right here. Then I went to the Product Hunter tool, pasted everything in here and clicked on the Only Get Chinese Items button to start the search. Now we wait until the search process is completely finished, right here at this point. Another tip, if it takes too long, you can briefly interrupt the whole thing here. I would increase the thread count here For example, you can set it to 5. You should never go above 10. If you restart the entire process again now, 5 tabs should open up simultaneously. That means the search should run 5 times faster than before. When the search process is complete and the bar here is at a full 100%, you can basically see the products that EcomSniper found through these titles on Amazon, which are only from Chinese manufacturers. Here, if I click on the image, I can open the product on Amazon. Specifically, if you click on the seller and scroll further down, you can actually see that their business address is registered right here in China. And now let's assume for a moment that we are actually allowed to use their images. This is very important, my friends. In this first step, I am going to show you exactly how to list these items manually. Next, I would like to show you how to automate the entire process with just one simple click using the bulk poster tool. If you remember correctly, we had previously set our profit margin at 30%. When I scroll down, it says €8.54. 30% is approximately €11.95. We had also set the price ending at 95 cents. And friends, very important, this is currently the prevailing sentiment here. The title. This is currently the title that has been taken one-to-one from Amazon. And if you remember, within the EcomSniper plugin, under the right-click menu options, and inside the custom title generator, we had added our own custom prompt. You can now test out this specific prompt yourself. You click on Snipe Title Credit, and according to our prompt, it would now set the whole thing up on eBay like this. The shock absorber tool, the wheel bearing tool, and the strut removal tool. Perform car repair via right click, then select Customize your titles. Here you can see your prompt again. This is the prompt that I also entered here in the settings. Here, for example, you can paste the Amazon description, and then you can generate a title, and you can also test the whole thing here. If you want to adjust it, once you have customized your own prompt, you can simply save the whole thing again here. When you have the perfect title, you can now list the product on Amazon via OptiList or Basic List. List the product on Amazon. Very important. Up here, by the way, your image template is also displayed, which we defined right at the beginning. If you don't see an image up here, then you've done something wrong in the EcomSniper. You forgot the settings, and most likely it's the image template. You need to check this box here. And as I said, for open image template, it has to look like this, and as mentioned, don't forget to save. There are 2 types of listings in EcomSniper, Basic List and OptiList. To be honest, we only use OptiList. You can ignore SnipeList for now as well. You really only need the OptiList. What's the difference here? Now, I'm first going to list this product on eBay using Basic List, just so I can show you the difference. But as I said, my community and I mainly use only OptiList. When you click on Basic List, the EcomSniper software automatically lists this product for you on eBay. We can also observe the whole process here, which is very important. I definitely do not recommend clicking around in this window, but if anything, only up here in the tabs. Now this software should also automatically upload the image. As I said, the whole process also works automatically in the background here. You can follow the status here. For example, I can now see that it's adding the specifications. It automatically fills in the necessary fields. As you can see, this item has now been automatically listed on eBay. I'd like to take a look at that with you now. Just click here on Show Offers. We did the whole thing with Basic List, and as you can see, you have the following out. Received, and to be honest, if we take a closer look. If you look at the product description here, to be honest, it doesn't look nice at all. With the Basic List, it's basically just a bare copy and paste from this Amazon description, and that's exactly why we use OptiList, as you can see. Because I have already listed this product on eBay, I also get the notification Da Blick. That means, attention, you already have this product in your eBay shop. You can also check this under the WK checker. Here is the specific SKU number of your product that you already have in your online shop. In the future, if you use the bold poster, which I'll show you again in just a moment, these items will of course be bypassed and not listed again. simply so that we don't have duplicate listings in our shop. But for testing purposes, I will list this product again using OptiList. So you can simply see the difference from the basic list here. Here as well, it runs through automatically again. As I said, just one click on OptiList. You don't have to touch anything. You don't have to click anything. It should run through automatically. If you would prefer that you do not want the software to automatically generate and list the product, you can choose to temporarily deactivate and disable the auto submit listing feature right here. This way, the EcomSniper software would not list the product automatically, but instead, in the final step, it would simply wait for your manual click. That's exactly what I meant by ready to submit. Because earlier, in the middle of the listing process, we unchecked this box right here. It didn't list the product automatically. I would now have to go ahead and confirm this manually here. Why didn't I do that? If you remember, we set up the second test item specifically for that purpose. Because eBay will remember the framework conditions for the future. Last time we had payment, shipping, and here with settings, we added the return policy. I just checked again. Yes, these three are there. If they weren't selected, eBay will create new framework conditions for you, and later you'll wonder why so many new framework conditions were automatically created here. The reason for this is that you listed items here where no condition was selected, and that's why eBay created a new one. That's why it's very important, especially at the beginning, friends, that you check this first. That's what it just did for me. That's why I also listed the Harry Potter book here. It adopted that. At this point, I am also able to list this item. If you happen to receive this notice, then of course you will need to navigate to the Seller Hub right here. First, you should end the old listing found under your Active Listings tab. Then you can try to list the whole thing once again right here. At this moment, the new listing is online with the OptiList. If we scroll down now, you can see the immediate and clear difference here. That was basic list, while this is OptiList. Of course, the whole thing looks significantly more professional and is much better formatted. Naturally, it also converts significantly better. And if you want to specifically adjust this section, if you want to give the AI a different prompt here, then you can also set that up here under Options at Custom Description Prompt. Here you can then enter your own prompt, but you have to check this box here first. I haven't done that now. From my experience, the default settings from EcomSniper are perfectly fine. If I go back into the seller section here and scroll down, then I can see that I had a total of 320 listings in stock. With a private eBay account, I am able to list 320 items each month for free. Here you can read through everything again, just as eBay has described it. If you remember, we had a plugin included with EcomSniper, with which your CAPTCHA is then automatically confirmed. And here you can get an overview again regarding the listing fees. And there, eBay also says you can create 320 listings every month. I have now used 4 out of the 320. Nathan the Wise. Then I had the popular Harry Potter book. Then I had the tool as a basic list, and now once again as an OptiList. Now it's time, friends, for us to fill our shop step by step with products. Now this is a very important point to remember, so I really need you to pay close attention to what I am saying here. You should never list more than 40 items on a private account. Your homework now is to list 20 to 40 items. You should never use up these 320 listings in one single go or within a very short time frame. You should spread them out. For example, if you list 20 to 40 items, you should get it done over 7 to 10 days. Doing it this way is actually much better for the platform's algorithm to pick up than if you list everything all at once. In general, for us to be able to list these 320 items, we are obviously going to need a lot more than this. More sellers, significantly more eBay sellers in our list. Why? If you remember, we found a total of 820 products through these 5 eBay sellers, but there were also many products among them that were selling quite poorly or only very rarely. And when we apply our filter, we only had a total of 8 items right here. Products left over. The product hunter, on the other hand, found 18 products from these 8 titles, and we would need at least 320 in total here. That means you have another assignment now, which is to fill out this seller list. I recommend that you fill the list with at least 100 sellers. If you have 100 sellers, you should have enough products after filtering. Additionally, I want to show you another trick here. If you remember, for example, with the keyword Valentine's Day, I told you to look for at least 2000 reviews. If necessary, you can also skip filling the list completely with random eBay sellers, because at the end of the day, only this here really matters to you. Because this is truly the crucial and important part. And by the way, if you don't do this, you definitely won't sell anything, because this is exactly what's crucial, friends, that we sell winning products here. You can also use extract sellers here. If you click on it once, as you can see, it has now added 39 new ones. However, there are also sellers with fewer than 2000 reviews. In principle, it doesn't matter. There are many ways to reach Rome. You could also scroll down, set the articles per page to 240. Then you could use this button here again. As you can see, I've now got another 100 new ones added to the list. Or rather, it was 102. If I now scroll down and go to page 2, I can also use extract sellers there. Add lots of new sellers quickly and easily. So I simply go for quantity, would then scan everything, just let it run for a few hours so that, for example, I might have 40,000 articles here. And after filtering from 5 down to 3, there are only 2,000 left. With these 2,000, you can then work over the next weeks and months. That's why, bro, you first have to do your homework. You have to be diligent. If, after filtering from 5 to 3, you have at least 500 titles here, or rather, actually the minimum is 320, but let's say at least 500. If you have those titles, you should then use Product Hunter to filter only for Chinese manufacturers and, for example, localize everything on Amazon. Once you have the links, once you're done with the search process, you can either list the item manually. For that, you go to the product, click on Snipe Title, and then you can decide whether to use OptiList or Basic List. As I said here, we only use OptiList. Of course, you don't want to list every single item manually, which is why we have the bulk poster. To do this, you click here on the plugin and then click on Open Bulk List. Again, friends, this is very important. You also need to save this in the bookmarks bar. In the end, that's very important. I expect this from all my members. This is exactly how it should look for you. Seller cockpit, then you have the competitor scanner here, then you have the product hunter or the bulk poster. We actually left off right at the product hunter, so I'm going to right click here. Let's close these other tabs so we can work more cleanly. Last time we checked, it found 18 different products for us. We had already listed one of those products on eBay. That's why it appears here. Also, enter duplicates. I can now transfer these links here into the bar with just one click. You can delete everything here, or you could also add links manually. Or I could simply click on Export Copy All here and then paste everything in manually. Very important, after pasting, always click outside the window again so that it gets saved here. Of course, the easiest way is if you just click the button here, then select the ones you want to import. Now I can also make some settings here in the bulk poster. This is very important, friends. Although we previously filtered for Chinese links, let's assume the manufacturer has changed, for whatever reason. Right here I have an additional specific control instance. This means the bulk poster would additionally check again whether it's really a Chinese manufacturer. I would also check this option. Commercial sellers have to provide the GPSR information anyway. What exactly is that? Let's take a look at it. There's a specific regulation for that. Either way, since you will be switching to commercial in the future, I recommend that you already check this option now. Very important, as I told you, list 20 to 40 items per day. Not anymore. You can mess up the algorithm. Your account can get banned, so make sure to pay attention to that. Here you can also make sure that after 30 listings, the listing process is automatically stopped, so to speak. It will be ended. If you want, you can also set here that, for example, you only want to list products that cost at least 10 euros. For starters, it doesn't really matter. I could run several tabs, several listings at the same time here. I'll just click on 3 here. And if you can recall from earlier, you always have the convenient option to list the product either via OptiList or by using Basic List. In our example here, it's also OptiList. Here is the standard list. Standard list is Basic List. As I said, we're only using OptiList. The difference is one costs 1 credit, the other costs 0.2. By default, everyone has 3,000 credits per month, since in the first month you can only list 320 items anyway. So I don't see why we should try to save credits. Thank God we all have enough credits anyway. Here, a click on OptiList. As you can see, I had previously go ahead and set the thread count to a total of 3. And by the way, it has already automatically finished closing the first item. Why? That was a double K. It immediately recognized, aha, we already have this product. It's already in the database. You can also check it manually. Here under the double checker, you'll be able to locate all the SKU numbers of your items that are in your eBay shop. All the SKU numbers of the products that are in your eBay shop should be currently and conveniently listed right here in this section. You can also scan it manually. I'll show you how to do that later. Since we're currently listing, I don't want to interrupt the process, so I'll just click on bulk poster again and wait. Here's another small tip. Check your settings regarding the power saving plan. For the pros who let the whole thing run overnight, make sure to set your power saving mode and screen turn off settings accordingly. Set them to never so that your computer stays productive throughout the night. We need to be a little patient, friends. Again, friends, patience is key. You basically don't have to do anything. You don't need to click anything, just be patient. At the top, you can follow the current progress. It automatically counts up here. It has already listed one item. Sometimes it can happen, like now, that it automatically takes over the mouse pointer and then clicks around a bit in that tab. Very important, friends. If you use the bulk poster soon, you need to leave the mouse and keyboard alone. You must not actively work or surf the web on the side. That's very important so that your sniper works flawlessly. Here, you just need to be patient. Here, you simply have to wait. When the whole process is finished, then you'll see that in the end, only this bulk poster tab remains open. And the position should then be at 18 out of 18. You will also get a status report, which we can take another look at in a moment. In this example right here, of course, I don't have a full 30 links. So either way, it would stop at 18. Now in my example, it doesn't really matter since I only have 18 links anyway. Yeah, my friends, there's really nothing better in the world. Just wait and the money starts rolling in. Be patient, the software does it for you. As you can see, a title is now being nicely sniped for you automatically. Then of course, it also automatically clicks on OptiList for you. Before that, it manually checks once more to see whether it's a Chinese manufacturer. It also checks whether the product is listed in the K database. And it retrieves all the necessary manufacturer information for the GPSR regulation, ensuring that we stay on the safe side, friends. Let's go. If it passes the checks from the bulk poster, it basically opens a new tab here. And then it goes like this. Here's my Amazon tab and here's my eBay tab. And right here, you can always see the current status. Right now, the description is being added here. Here, it's currently creating the specifications. It just closed the tab. That means the product has now been listed and now it continues. Of course, you can list multiple products at the same time here. I'll just click pause here. I always like to tidy up from time to time. Very important, friends. Articles are still being listed up here, so pay attention. That means if I were to close this now, I would interrupt the listing process and the item would then end up in drafts on eBay, and we don't want that. I've just clicked pause here. However, there were still 2 listings running in the background. Now let's just wait until the listings are finished. You can also, in principle, that's what I wanted to show you. You can, of course, also list 10 items at the same time here. For starters, I recommend you take it slow. That's more for the pros, who later list everything with their business accounts. If that's taking too long for you, you can increase the thread count here a bit. The pros use 10. For you though, I wouldn't go higher than 5. You're still just starting out. Very important, I have to click on reset and terminate here. After that, I can start the listing process again. Position 13, that's where we left off. OptiList. Alright. The bulk poster is done, folks. For me, what's really important is what actually ended up on eBay. And I can immediately see here on eBay under active listings, I have 16 items in there, 16 items online. If I go back again, I can see that there are 3 unsold items. There I had Nathan the Wise, the Harry Potter book, and the first basic list product. If I now take a look at the active ones, thank God, the items are finally online. With just a few clicks, I have now filled my shop with winning products using the EcomSniper. Very important, friends, make sure you don't have more than 40. Pay attention, friends, that you don't have more than, pay attention. Pay attention to that, friends. That you only post between 20 and 40 items per day with a private account. Now I would take a look at the listing. Of course, make sure there's free shipping and returns. That's very important. To be honest, what I don't like is this random username that eBay automatically assigned to me way back when I first registered. I would really like to change this name to something better. So I'll click right here on View Profile. Then click on Edit Profile and go to the Account Settings section here. Once I'm there, I can change my username. I think I'll just call it Export for now. Afterwards, I would maybe consider changing the profile picture as well, just so that everything looks a bit more professional visually. Go in here again, then to View Profile, then to Edit Profile. Now I can select a picture here. Let's do that quickly with chat. Hey ChatGPT, you are my best friend. I need your help to design a professional and stylish round logo for my eBay shop, which is called Parterre Export. I would really appreciate your help with this. I like the logo, man. Parterre Export. All right, let's go ahead and take this specific image and save it as the eBay logo. First, go to Edit, navigate to the Downloads folder, name it eBay logo, then click Save, close the window, and hit the refresh button. There we go, take a look. Now that looks much nicer than before. Parterre Export, a beautiful logo, a nice title, a good price, free 2 to 3 day delivery, 30-day return. That fits perfectly. A thorough description that incorporates all the necessary legal information. Let's go, friends. As I said before, you have some homework to do now, my friend. Day number 1, 20 to 40 article listings. Otherwise, you definitely need to book a call with Justin so that Justin can add you to the member group. And it is very important for you. Please take part in our regular team calls. My moderators will carefully review your eBay account, and together we'll ensure that we all reach the next level. I also have some homework for you now, my friends. First, I have to initiate a full scan of the competitor scanner. Earlier today, I only scanned a small group of 5 different sellers. I'll just hit start here. Let the whole thing run through. First, I need some links. Once I have all the links, I can then, first I really need the titles. Once I have the proper titles, and by proper I mean they're filtered right here. At least 5 in 3. Afterwards, I can basically carefully copy these high quality and effective product titles and manually input them into the Product Hunter tool so that I can then locate the exact original source on a platform like Amazon, for example. Then I can seamlessly transfer all of these items directly into the bulk lister system. Currently, I only had 18 links here. I want to list 30 items today, and in total for this month, I would still need 320. Why 320? I can still list 301 items for the duration of this month. With 19 slots and 19 rounds, we have now used them all up. We already have 16 items online. Then we had 3 test listings. 16 plus 3 is 19. I can still list 301 here. I would go ahead and close the bulk poster. We don't need the Product Hunter either. As I said, pay attention, friends. If you've clicked on the competitor scanner, let it run. And very important, whenever the EcomSniper plugin is running, you shouldn't be working on anything else. You can't just surf here on the side now and type around on Telegram, WhatsApp, or anything else, okay? This is very important. This can cause errors, and we don't need errors. You simply need to be patient, like I am. Simply wait until the search process is complete. Be patient. Ultimately, that's exactly what brings in the money. See you later, champ. So I've now had almost 50 retailers scanned. Now, under Show All Items, I can see that I have found a total of 5,724 products. However, this is really very important, friends. I want to filter for the winning products here, at least 5 in 3. As you can clearly see, out of the 5,700 items, only 37 remain at the very end. These 37 items, these are the ones that really sell very well. I have now copied these titles out here. Then using the product hunter, I added them down here. Just click on clear, then right click to paste. I have already scanned exactly the same thing. As you can see, these 37 different titles have yielded 67 Amazon products for me, which are already from a Chinese manufacturer. I will now transfer these items into the bulk poster software. Why? So far, I have only listed 16 specific items. My homework is to list 20 to 40 every day. So far, we have listed 16 items. We should list at least 20 to 40 per day. You should use 13 as the reference value, which means I still have to list 14 items. For that, I use the bulk poster. My settings from last time are all still in place. I simply click here on Optilist and it should list 5 items for me at once. Since I have already listed 16 items, I now just need to find 14 more to finish the entire list. Click here on Optilist. If I want, I can also increase the thread count a bit here. I'll do 8 at the same time. If you remember, it listed this item for me. Here is a duplicate entry, and this should now also be automatically closed by the bulk poster. Why? We don't want to have duplicate items in our eBay shop. Back to the bulk poster. Just wait here. It scans, it tracks in the background. When it has successfully listed the 14 items here, it will interrupt the bulk process. Every now and then it can happen, friends. Don't be surprised if it lists 2 or 3 items more or less. The reason for this is simply that you have several tabs open and are listing in parallel. We are patient, we wait, we let the bulk poster run for us. It does all the work. It now also checks again. Although the product hunter may have already done this, whether it's a Chinese manufacturer, then it checks whether we have already listed this item. You should be able to find all the items you've already listed here in your database. You can see that we had 14 items on eBay here. The software also automatically saved 14 SKUs for us. That means if an item is successfully listed here in a moment, the count should go up here. Additionally, the software also guarantees that only Amazon Prime products are specifically delivered here. Furthermore, if any unexpected errors should occur on eBay, the listing process will be aborted and those items will end up in the drafts. As you can clearly see, the entire listing process has now been finished, or rather, the bulk poster is letting me know right here that you have reached the maximum allowed number of listings. We wanted to list a total of 30 items. The software has now taken care of that for me. That means I've done my homework for today. If you have a little more or less, that's not a problem either. Here are my 30 items. I would check everything again here. Pattern export. Here is my logo. That also looks very good. Don't be surprised, this is automatically uploaded by the software. These are the manufacturer details so that we're legally on the safe side. Here you also have the notes regarding the framework conditions that we set up at the beginning. After that, the nice Optilist. Additionally, the manufacturer details again on eBay. That way we're doubly protected. Here is general information about my eBay shop. That looks very good. So far, so good. Seller cockpit. The homework for today is done, friends. 30 items have been listed. Very important. Once you have listed the 30 items, go to my public Telegram group and write homework done so we know as well. That way we can also see your activities. You'll immediately earn some bonus points with us. So let's go, champ. Once the 30 items are listed, you should also use the duplicate checker here to double check whether you really have all the SKUs included. As you can see, 2 are missing here. In principle, that's not a problem at all, but I can have the SKUs deleted here once and then have everything read out again in my eBay shop. For this, it's very important that you follow my instructions carefully and activate the SKU option in the second test item we listed right from the start. As you can see, it has now successfully saved 30 SKUs here. If I close this tab here after the scan is complete, as you can see, I now have 30 SKUs here. If you have duplicate SKUs, sometimes there's an eBay bug where the first eBay page gets scanned again. You can simply click on Remove Duplicates. It's important that you have the same thing here as you do in your eBay shop in sync. I have 30 in both places. That is correct. That means these items, these SKUs, are already present right here in my EcomSniper database. So the ball poster will never list them again. And for example, if I click on an item here, I can show you how it works. You can access your eBay listing here by clicking on this magnifying glass to open the original listing. In this example here, it's Amazon. If you scroll down, you'll also see a duplicate entry here. This is also very important, friends. If you ever want to move your eBay account, for example, to another device, you must of course synchronize your EcomSniper database with your eBay account. Otherwise, as usual, right-click and close the other tabs. As you can see, there's now a problem with the listings. That can certainly happen. Let's take a look at that. The plugin takes care of the task for us here. Be patient for a moment. Actually, there was a minor problem here with one of our listed offers. Here, eBay's AI intervened. Let's click on Resolve. Here you can take a look at the case. This happens quite often. You simply successfully resolved this specific case by just manually ending the active listing. You could also take some time to read up once again on why the listing was flagged by the eBay system. Afterwards, when I refresh the list here, you should see that you no longer have any listings or issues left to handle. When you go back to the eBay dashboard, you'll see, hey, everything is taken care of. This can happen from time to time, especially when we're listing 10,000 items. These listings were flagged by eBay's AI. As a matter of principle, you could file a formal appeal. You could also submit the documents required by eBay. However, we don't want any headaches. If you just end the listing, the problem is solved. That means we'll wait for now at least 24 hours so that the next day I can list my 30 items again. We'll leave these 30 items up for the time being. As you can see, I've even already gotten a bit of traffic. 41 people have already seen it, or at the very least scrolled past it. And all of that came from organic traffic. We still are not able to run ads yet. We'll do that once we have our first sale. We'll have to be patient until then. Until then, friends, I can let my computer run again so that the rest of the sellers can be scanned as well. Why? After filtering out of the 5,700, I only had 37 products left that sell exceptionally well here. So that I have more products here, I'll let my computer continue running again tonight. So far, I had scanned 47 total sellers out of the 270. After filtering for 5 sales in the last 3 days, I was left with exactly 37 titles. Those were my winning products. By utilizing these 37 titles, I successfully obtained 67 links through the product hunter. That would last me about 2 days. However, I can already scan everything now so that I'm basically prepared for the month. I'm just gonna let the whole thing run here until it reaches the 270. Why? I'll probably have over 50,000 products here in the end. Then after filtering, I'll also have significantly more titles available. Then it won't be 37, maybe 1,000. But those are really 1,000 winning products that actually sell very, very well. Numbers don't lie. You can check on eBay yourself to see who or what has sold how many times in the past few days. A quick tip at this point. If you want the scan to run overnight, take a look at your energy settings. Make sure you set both options to never here, regardless of your energy settings. Very important, friends, this is a common mistake. Most people log into their Amazon account on the same eBay profile where the EcomSniper plugin is running and then wonder why the plugin stops working properly. You must never do that. For your personal use, you should definitely use a separate Google Chrome profile. For Amazon and AliExpress, we will create separate Google Chrome profiles later. I'll show you how to do that. That's it from my side, friends. Thank you very much for your attention. That was day 1. We've done our homework. We've listed 30 items on eBay. Earlier, I showed you how to complete the onboarding process in my community. Very important, join my public Telegram group. Book a call with Justin, then go through all the steps. First, you need to find some reputable eBay sellers, then you need the titles. Thanks to these titles, you can use the product hunter to find the Amazon links. Once you have those Amazon links, you can simply go into the bulk poster and start listing your items, 20 to 40 per day. Day number 1. 30 items have been listed, all settings have been made, the plugin has been properly configured, and my eBay account has been set up correctly. I've got a proper name, I've got a proper logo, and let's go. We'll continue tomorrow with day 2. Let's go, champ. Your homework. Day number 1. List 20 to 40 items. Wait at least 24 hours, then list another 20 to 40 items. Keep doing this until you've used up your 320 rounds of ammunition. Very important once you've finished your homework. I'm sure you'll be very happy. That will be the moment when you think to yourself, awesome, this business method really works. Fatih isn't talking nonsense. Your community, the 150 people, 900 people in the public group, they're not fake. No one would pay for software if it didn't work, my friends. The good thing is the pie is big enough. eBay pushes its sellers. eBay wants you to sell on eBay. Why? There are so many other platforms. And if you look around outside or even on TV, you keep seeing eBay ads. I see eBay on every pillar. In the subway, I keep seeing eBay even when I'm on YouTube or anywhere else online. eBay makes sure, above all, that new sellers like you can immediately benefit from the algorithm. That's why it's very important, friends, that you stay active so we can prove to the algorithm that we deserve it. You also have daily eBay homework. For example, you have to send price offers and you have to respond to price offers. It may be that you get customer inquiries every day. You have to answer customer messages. In other words, handle customer service. You have to fulfill your orders on time. If someone requests a return, you have to make sure the customer receives a return shipping label from you. You also have to refund their money in a timely manner. And as always, of course, the customer is king. The most important thing for us is that the customer is satisfied. If the customer is satisfied, your eBay account is in good standing, your service status is clean. Depending on how well you work, you have a certain ranking. You have to keep your service status nice and high. There are several criteria for this. For example, if you send an item late too often or cancel transactions, that can harm your eBay account. The most important thing is, please be diligent, work carefully, just as I and my moderators show you. While the scan is running through here again, I'm taking another look at my seller dashboard and refreshing the website. As you can see, I now have some traffic here as well. I've received 4 page views for the listing. When I go in here and take a look at everything, I can see that I've received organic traffic. We also want to get traffic through ads. However, we can't run ads yet. That could be done up here via advertising. As you can see, we have to meet a few criteria. First of all, you will need to sell your first item. After that, we can get started here. Here you can basically check your total traffic. Hopefully, we'll get a better overview here every day, God willing. Here, I would go ahead and simply filter for the last 7 days again, so that a few days later, we'll have a more complete overview here. As I said, friends, patience is key. If you have completed all the homework, if you have used up your 320 listings, if you have followed my instructions exactly, if you have listed good items that have been filtered and have sold at least 5 in the last 3 days, then I promise you, you will have your first sale within 48 hours. God willing, inshallah. My success rate here is about 95%. It worked for everyone. Thank God eBay is really the best platform. eBay pushes its members, eBay protects its sellers, and eBay also promotes its merchants. eBay wants you to become active on eBay, exactly that. eBay really wants you to invest only in your own eBay shop. That is exactly why, my friends, you have to prove to the algorithm and to eBay itself that you are finally getting started, that you work consistently, and that you do all your homework on eBay. The most important thing is that you satisfy the customer. The customer is king. If the customer is satisfied, if the customer gives you a good review, if you stick to all the deadlines, then you'll have a high ranking on eBay. This is called service status. Since I have a new account now, there isn't any information here yet. And so that you can sell successfully and in the long term on eBay, it's very important that you keep your service status above average. Now let's get to the most important part. You have to do your daily eBay homework. You have to feed the algorithm. You have to make it clear to eBay that you are now starting out as a seller. You have to prove to eBay that you stick to the deadlines. And most importantly, as always, you have to satisfy the customer. Very important, eBay will always provide you with some opportunities. For example, sending price offers. You have to make sure that everything here in your seller hub is taken care of. If, for example, you can send price offers here, then you should do so as quickly as possible. For example, I have now received a price offer right here. Let's take a closer look at that together. To do this, I will click on the reply button here. In this case, I was offered 50 euros for the product. 50.95 was the original price. Here in the new tab, using the magnifying glass, I can, for example, check the price on Amazon. Currently, the item costs me 39 euros and 9 cents to purchase. That means I would still be making a profit and could then easily accept this price offer. Of course, this was from my account at the time, Part and Store. Take a look at the last course. That was the course in the year 2025. I still have this account. Of course, friends, with my active accounts, I obviously wouldn't post a course here. Of course, all of this is just a test simulation, but you'll see, numbers and data don't lie. I'm going to officially accept this price offer right now. Now that I've successfully accepted this price offer, it will automatically appear under my orders. However, the whole thing hasn't been paid for yet. To do that, the user would first have to make a payment for this offer. Afterwards, the order would appear right here under the Not Yet Shipped section. Very important, friends. Please only process the orders that have ended up here under Not Yet Shipped. These right here are the orders for which the items have already actually been paid for. When you've made your first sale, you will naturally need to go ahead and fulfill the order. Let's go. First of all, you can see here in your seller dashboard that you have an order that needs to be shipped. Very important. Now let's click on it. Here under orders, not yet shipped. These are already the orders that have been paid for. You can view the details of the purchase by clicking on the order number. When an order comes in, it's very important that you stick to the deadline here. This is very important for the eBay algorithm. Because we selected 2 days of processing time and the customer paid on February 23rd, you will have until the end of the day on February 25th to mark the order as shipped. I am going to do that for you right now. Once the order is marked as shipped, it is absolutely vital that you now place your order. To do this, I scroll down, and here you'll also find a section from the EcomSniper plugin. Now I need to set the following settings here under the options. This is very important, friends. In this field, I'll enter my name. If you have several employees, as I do, then your employees should enter their own names here, so that later on you'll know exactly who processed which orders. Once I have set everything up like this, I simply click away from here and can check everything again. As I said, friends, short and sweet, these are my settings. What exactly is this? Here we can go ahead and specify that we want to copy and paste this specific link into another profile. Here we instruct the system to automatically confirm everything at the end of the order. Here it should send everything to our EcomSniper dashboard. I'll show you exactly what that is later. It's basically an accounting tool on the side. Furthermore, it should mark everything as shipped on eBay. I had already done that manually. It is also very important that we automatically increase the quantity again right here. Additionally, it should also leave a detailed note on eBay. For example, it will include details about your Amazon order number, in this case, and which account was used to place the order. Additionally, this tab will automatically close itself again. Now let's go through the order. To do this, we'll now copy this link. Once that part is finished, it waits for us to go ahead and place the order on Amazon. If you remember, we set up and initially created the profile specifically called eBay one. Now comes the moment when we need to create the profile Amazon one. To do this, go to Add Chrome Profile, stay signed out, and set Google as the default. For this, I type in Amazon one. For my Amazon accounts, I use the specific color blue. Here in the new Amazon Chrome profile, I go again to the 3 vertical dots, Extensions, and Manage Extensions. I can easily deactivate and then completely remove Google Docs again. That is not needed. First, make sure that developer mode is enabled. Then click on Load Unpacked Extension and once again navigate to Documents, Plugins, eBay Lister 4 and select the folder. Now, here in this Amazon profile, I also need to load my EcomSniper profile as well. Then, go ahead and pin the plugin here again. Afterwards, I also need to log into my EcomSniper plugin within my Amazon Google Chrome profile. This Amazon profile is basically intended only for my orders. Here, I just need to log in, then right-click and select the Options menu. Very important, friends, if errors appear here, some users keep reporting this. These are not errors. Sammy, our CEO of EcomSniper, likes to use this logging feature for debugging purposes. So friends, don't let yourselves be misled by this. Here as well, go to Options. Under Order Settings, you need to specify in the Amazon Chrome profile that this is basically an Amazon profile. In this field, you will need to enter your Amazon email address. In my case, it's fatipatan@outlook.de. Furthermore, it is very important. Use the custom note template, which ensures that this note will later be transferred over to eBay. On eBay, you will then receive a specific note with your Amazon email address, your Amazon order number, the date when it will arrive for the buyer, and then following that, who fulfilled the order. If you activate custom note template in your Amazon profile here, You also have to activate it in your eBay profile. Otherwise, the Amazon order number will not be transferred. To do this, you also need to go into your eBay profile, right-click, select the options menu, then scroll down, and here as well you need to ensure you check Use Custom Note Template. This is very important. What that actually means is that Use Custom Note Template is currently enabled and activated in my eBay profile and also here in my Amazon profile. Once you have successfully saved all of your settings, it is also very important, friends, that we select the Germany domain again here in the EcomSniper plugin. This is a very important step to remember. Why? Additionally, we are currently utilizing Amazon Germany and not Amazon.com. For this reason, you must select DE here. One more small note. Currently, there is no image template set, and whenever you open an Amazon URL, the images are loaded up here. In order to optimize everything, I would also activate Use Image Template here in the Amazon profile. And then simply click Add Placeholder, then save it. You don't even have to stretch this out here. You can do it, but you don't have to. We'll save everything now. The only thing that's important to me is that when I load an Amazon URL now, not a lot of images should be loaded at the top, but only a single image. This shortens the loading time. As you might recall, there was a timeout here by now. Now we would refresh the page again and then scroll down once more. You can see that a specific note was left right here. This also serves as a helpful hint for you in case an order fails later on. Once you are here again, click on Copy Auto Link, then I'll click on my Amazon One profile, click up here in the URL bar or simply open a new tab. Then right-click to paste the link and open it right up. Of course, accept the cookies. And earlier in the settings under the options menu, I specified that this is my Amazon email address. Naturally, this also has to be synchronized right here. Once I'm logged in, and again, friends, this is very important. I go to my orders, click on the star icon, check the bookmarks bar, and select my orders. Everything fits so far. Then once again, click on the three dots, go to bookmarks and lists, and select show bookmarks bar. I already had a bookmark here, and the tab groups, you don't need those either. This is what a clean Amazon Chrome profile looks like in EcomSniper. Here you have your orders as a bookmark. Here you have the EcomSniper plugin with the Germany domain. Right-click Options. If you look a bit further down here, you have your Amazon email address. You've also activated the custom note templates here and successfully saved all of your settings down here as well. Yo guys, how is it going today? A very good evening to you all. Today we have a surprise. Justin is behind me. Earlier, Justin conducted a few onboarding calls. We're continuing with our eBay account. Today is day number 3. Let's go. Day number 3. I'm opening my eBay One profile again. It is very important to remember that you should update your Vero database on a daily basis. For that, you need to click on the EcomSniper plugin. And then additionally here on Get Vero Brands. As you can see, I now have the current status here. Let's go. Go into the seller cockpit. As you can see, I've successfully listed out 100 items over the last 3 days. First, I'll take a quick look to see if I have any traffic here. I can take another look at that. As you can see, everything is growing step by step. That's very good. What matters to me is that I get offer views here, achieve a certain click-through rate, and have impressions in my shop. We keep listing. I'll make sure to list 30 more items today, so that step by step I can finally reach the total of 320 items here. As already mentioned, you receive 320 ammunitions, 320 credits per month. You are allowed to list 320 free items without listing fees on a private account. This way you can basically A, warm up your account for 3 months, and B, make significantly more profit. By the 3rd month at the latest, since in Germany you can also register your business retroactively for 3 months, you should definitely switch to a business account. As you can see, there's another problem here with the listings. I already mentioned this to you. The eBay AI is automatically flagging a specific item here, which may potentially be in direct violation of eBay's guidelines. If you believe that's not the case, you can submit a formal appeal for review here. Or you can simply end the listing and thus completely resolve the outstanding issue with eBay. The listing will be ended, and now the error message should also disappear here. Also, very important, friends, this is really the most important thing on eBay. You have to log in every day, and every time you log in, and you must log in daily to boost your account, to push the algorithm. You have to do your eBay homework. For example, sending out price offers. You can do this every single day. Whenever you log in, you'll surely have the option to send price offers here. With just one click, select all possible price offers and click on Send Price Offers. These two check marks can be removed. I always send between 5 and 10%. What's important here is not that the price offers are accepted, but that you show the eBay algorithm that you are active. That's very important, friends. That's the only reason we're doing this. Don't think that we're going to make any sales just because of the price offers. It could happen, yes, but it doesn't have to, and that's not the point anyway. It's only about showing the eBay algorithm, hey, everything you're suggesting to me regarding my account, I'm taking care of. So now give me more sales. There are also price offers from buyers here. We can take another look at that as well. To do that, click on Reply here. €7.95 is the original price. Here, a buyer offered me €5. I'll take a look at the whole thing on eBay and then use the magnifying glass here to go to Amazon. The whole thing would cost me €5.94 on Amazon. That means I would be making a loss here. That's why I'm going to decline this price offer. Back to the seller cockpit. Even though I've already given my official response to this price offer here, don't be fooled. The eBay system takes a little while. Here, the second time after I refreshed it, everything is now marked as done. This is really very important, friends. Whenever you log into your eBay account, everything should be marked as done. That means you shouldn't log out beforehand. As I already mentioned, I would now list more items. To do this, I opened the bulk poster. I had already uploaded 464 links. I also went ahead and ran the competitor scanner tool. From a pool of 270 sellers, I received a total of 31,000 links. Now, if I filter through everything here, set the parameters to sold 5 in the last 3 days and click apply, I get exactly 275 filtered winning products. That means while 32,000 items were sold in total, only these specific 275 are truly the top sellers. Here again, I can take a closer look at these titles. With these titles, you can then utilize the power of the product hunter, which I have already done. You can clear the data here if you already have some existing entries. Then basically import these titles via import. Alternatively, you can also right-click right here and handle the whole thing that way as well. I have already completed the search process here and ended up with a list of 464 links, which are being offered for sale by various Chinese manufacturers on eBay, are not found within the Vero database, and additionally are not present in my own duplicate database on EcomSniper. Why? Because I don't want it to find items that I have already listed. Also, here are some additional settings, prioritizing bestsellers and of course Amazon Prime shipping. Here, using this Transfer Bulk List button, you can automatically transfer the links into the bulk poster with just one click. Last time I finished at position 164 and I currently have 102 items listed. For me, it's important that it lists 20 more items and then automatically stops. Enable maximum successful listings is activated. I've been doing this for a while now. I actually have several eBay profiles here. You really should only have at most 3 profiles. One for eBay, one for Amazon, and your personal Chrome profile. This is your essential daily homework on eBay. What I am about to show you right here is something that you really need to do at least once every single day. We are logging into our eBay profile once again. Last time we successfully set up both the eBay one and the Amazon one for you. Additionally, you should create a separate profile for personal stuff. Now I log into my personal eBay profile, click on the Seller Hub, and I can immediately see some activities on the main dashboard area. Thank God, I've just received 3 brand new customer orders. The first order for €50, I actually simulated that one for you so I could demonstrate how the price offers work. In the meantime, I've received 3 new orders, even though I haven't even done my homework yet. My promise to you is this. If you complete all of your assigned homework, and if you list your 320 items here, you should definitely have your first sale within 48 hours at the latest. As I said, friends, I haven't even done my homework yet, and I've already gotten 3 sales. Thank God, getting sales isn't a problem for us. Some members even complain because they have too many sales. Very important, friends, you have to do your daily eBay homework. You have to log in at least once a day and make sure that everything up here in the eBay dashboard is marked as completed. Price offers come in every day. For this, I can select them all, click on Send Price Offers, enter 5%, and as I showed you last time, make sure to uncheck these two boxes. Go ahead and send the price offers, then click OK right here. If I now go back into the seller cockpit and refresh everything once again, it disappears. As you can see, the eBay system was working in the background. Don't be surprised, you have to refresh from time to time. With price offers, it is not just about having the offers accepted. It is really about signaling to eBay, hey, I am active. I am doing everything that you suggest to me. I've completed all your tasks, all your assignments. Please give me more sales. As you can see, the price offers have now disappeared here. Next, I still have two issues with the listings here. We should take a look at those as well. Here, you can simply let go. The EcomSniper plugin takes care of it for you unless you're faster and just click on Verify yourself. As already mentioned, eBay's AI reports that supposedly some items violate eBay's policies. Here you can then resolve the cases. Either you can file an appeal and, if necessary, submit additional documents, or you simply end the listing and the case is closed. For this listing as well, I'm going to click on Resolve, then scroll down End Listing. Yes, End Listing. I can close these tabs again here. If I navigate back over to the seller cockpit and refresh the page, then you are going to need to be a bit patient, my friends. It's completely normal for eBay's system to take a little time to process things in the background. It's completely normal that the eBay platform shows you this with a slight delay. That's why you can always refresh everything here with a single click. Also, I still need to process my 3 orders. Now let's move on to the orders. As you can see, I have 3 open orders that I need to process. The customers are waiting for their orders. The most important thing, friends, is that you process your orders as quickly as possible. No one wants to wait long for their package. That's very important. This is important not only so that the customer is satisfied and gives you a positive review, but also for the performance of your eBay algorithm. If you remember, we previously selected a processing time of 2 days and also mentioned that we use parcel shipping, which typically takes 1 to 2 days. That means you have a total window of 4 days after the order is placed to make sure the package arrives safely at the customer. Later on, if you notice, hey, I'm having trouble with this, you can increase the processing time a bit. Of course, if you adjust the processing time, it will also be visible in your listing, which means the delivery will arrive a few days later as well. Pay attention to this, friends. Friends, surprise. As I am recording this video for you, another new order has just come in. That means we now have 4 open orders. I'd like to go through and process them together with you. To process an order properly, it's absolutely essential that you carefully follow these specific steps. In the first step, I recommend that you do everything manually so you can learn the system. Don't make it too easy for yourselves. First, learn how to do it manually. Later on, you can automate the whole process. To successfully process a specific order, I need to carefully review the purchase details here. In this purchase details section, at the top right corner, you will find the general information about your order and the customer. Sometimes contact information like email and phone number are required. If you need this data, it would be located up here on the top right. The phone number is now listed down here under delivery. Why? As we pointed out at the very beginning, we absolutely and essentially require a valid phone number for delivery. If you ever need to email the customer, you won't get the customer's personal private email address, of course. Here you have an email address provided by the eBay system. If you send an email to this address, it will end up with your customer. Very important, friends. This is the most important thing. As you can see right here, eBay tells you that you have enough time to ship everything by February 27th, which means you have 2 days later to either send the package out or mark the item as shipped by then. The order came in yesterday, so I have until tomorrow. However, it would have been a much smarter move if I had already marked everything as shipped yesterday and, of course, actually placed the order for the customer. Now, quite unfortunately, I've lost a day, but that's not a problem at all. Very important. Step number 1. You have to mark everything as shipped here. Once you've marked everything as shipped, step number 2. Once you have marked your order as shipped, it is very important that you increase the quantity. By default, the EcomSniper software will automatically list your offers with a total quantity of just one. When you have sold an item, it is very important that you increase the quantity. Why? An item that has sold on eBay is extremely likely to sell again. The eBay algorithm ensures that these sold items are pushed out to more buyers. However, I need to manually increase the quantity for this to happen. And as you can see, a user who, for example, now views this item cannot make a purchase. To fix this, you need to increase the quantity here again. I'll set it to 2 by default. Click on Increase Quantity. The software ensures that the quantity is changed from 0 to 2. It submits everything for you. It automatically closes the tab, and you should also get a notification here that everything has been updated. If I now refresh the listing, please pay attention to this area. As you can clearly see here, your users would now be able to buy from you once again, regardless. This is another marketing effect here. eBay also notifies potential buyers that you have already successfully completed a sale of this item in the past. That also boosts your sales again. This essentially means that if I have also increased the item quantity here, I can now go ahead and place my order. As you might remember, I already showed you how to set up your Amazon profile. If you want to do all this automatically, quickly, and easily, you just need to click on Copy Auto Link. After that, you can go to your Amazon 1 profile here and click on the section for My Orders. Why? So that I can verify and confirm that I am properly logged in. And as you can see, I wasn't actually logged in here yet. Once I'm logged in, I can simply paste the link right into this box, press Enter, or I can open up a brand new tab, right-click to paste, and open it. The product cost me €6.99. I will now proceed to place the automatic order. For this process, the customer's shipping address is now automatically retrieved from eBay. The software makes the entire purchase for me and then automatically transfers all the order details back to eBay. As you can clearly see, the order has been successfully placed automatically. The whole thing was officially marked as shipped, and the quantity was now increased to 2. Additionally, the Amazon order has also been placed. Here you have the order number. With the order number, you can accurately identify the specific listing, and later on, if the customer initiates a return or anything else, you can use that order number to generate a specialized kind of QR code. Very important, friends, it is absolutely essential that you please stick to these steps. You need to make sure that you follow these steps with every single one of your orders so that you can achieve the highest level of long-term success with your eBay account. The most important thing is that you stick to the eBay deadlines here. If you remember, we originally selected 2 days as the processing time. Today is the 26th, but it's a Thursday. Since we selected 2 full business days as the processing time and the day after tomorrow is basically the weekend, I actually have until this coming Monday to get everything shipped out. It's really very important, friends, that you stick to the deadline here. If you don't stick to the deadline here, you'll have problems with your eBay algorithm. You'll have problems with your service status. The most important thing here is really that you feed the algorithm. Even if you should happen to be late, which of course you really shouldn't be, you should make absolutely sure that this is marked as having been shipped on time. Furthermore, I will also go ahead and process this entire order automatically for you. In order to accomplish this task, I simply click on the Copy Auto Link button, then navigate across to my Amazon 1 profile, click on the plus sign located here, right-click to paste the link, and open it. Afterwards, my order should be processed automatically. This is a good example now. The order is not being processed automatically. There are still some problems here. First of all, the customer's last name is missing. There was also a formatting error here. The postal code and the city were swapped. You would have to correct that manually. Now I have to identify the customer's last name. Normally, that is not exactly the standard procedure, but again, it fits perfectly with the course. After all, problems exist so that they can be solved. I can't process the order right now because I don't have the customer's last name. Up here on the top right, I can also take another look at the customer's contact information again. I could now write an email to the customer. Here I have the customer's phone number. I could contact the customer by phone, or I could send a message to the customer. For me, the most important thing is that I have adhered to the deadline here. I marked the whole thing as shipped in time. The customer now also knows that we will basically send everything out as soon as we have received their correct first and last name. Back to the seller cockpit. Whenever you look in here, all your orders should have a note attached. Here you will also find the Amazon account you used to place the order. You also have the order number here. This is very, very important, friends. Later, when you have a lot of orders, you'll get confused. You need to be able to clearly identify everything. Regarding this order from Horst, we're still waiting for them to provide a response. There's no note attached here yet. That's also a reminder for me later. Hey, I still need to do something here. What that means for me is that an order is fully completed when first I have marked everything as shipped out on time, second I have manually increased the total quantity here, and third when I see a specific order number in the notes right here. These 3 steps are necessary to take your eBay algorithm, your eBay account to the next level. As you can clearly see right here under not yet shipped, I currently still have 2 orders that need to be processed. For this, view the purchase details via AutoLink. I go into my Amazon profile here, right-click to paste and open, then I can just lean back and wait. The order should be processed automatically. The customer's shipping address is automatically pulled and adopted into the system. It should read all of the order details from Amazon and then automatically transfer that specific information here to eBay. If the order was successfully processed, you should see an order number right here. Additionally, with this order, we have now made a total gross profit of exactly €2.96. Furthermore, the whole thing was marked as shipped and the quantity was also automatically increased. Back in the eBay seller cockpit, my last order, 40 minutes ago, I sold a push-up board here. We will also process this order. For that, details about the purchase. For this order, I will do everything manually this time. As I said before, first mark the item as shipped, then use this button right here to increase the total quantity. Next, I will get the Amazon link, click on the Buy Now option, click on Change, and then select an older address. In the purchase details section, I click on this button here. Move the cursor over, right-click, select EcomSniper, and then click on Fill Address. Afterwards, I can manually confirm everything right here. This is very important, friends. Here I recommend that you do not use the address suggested by Amazon. In my experience, for example, I've noticed that Amazon sometimes changes the house number right here. Then your deliveries won't arrive anymore. Always use the original address. If you find that something doesn't quite match up, you can always just blame the customer. After all, we simply use the exact address that he provided to us. Buy now. Since I have placed the order manually just now, I am going to need to copy the order number again right here. Then navigate under More Actions, select Add Note, insert the order number, and then save it. Back to the seller cockpit. As you can see, this is exactly what we wanted to see. Now you've finished your eBay homework. You have to do your daily eBay homework. Every time you log into the system, it should say All Done right here. I also make sure to go back and check my orders once again. Here I check whether every order has an Amazon or an AliExpress order properly assigned to it. These 2 orders are fine. I'm still waiting for feedback from the customer here. This one is fine too. I had just processed the fitness board manually with you earlier. That's why it looks a little bit different here, because I manually copied everything over. My eBay homework is all finished. I still need to complete a verification here. I have time until March 22nd to complete that process. It is most likely that this is the verification for the payout. We could take another look at that as well. The bank account now needs to be added to the system. We can do that together as well. When it comes to me, that is Postbank. After logging in, I click here on Continue. Continue. So now we've really finished everything. I've completed the verification. I've finished my eBay homework. Now, very important, friends. As you can see, I have 17 unread messages here. Don't underestimate it, friends. Here too, it's very important that you show the eBay algorithm that you read your messages. Right here, I can quickly and easily mark all messages as read with just one click. Back to the eBay seller cockpit. 0 messages left, so there is no more eBay homework. Now I have basically finished my eBay day for today. I've also finished processing all orders. I've also read all the messages. I've done my eBay homework as well. I've also completed the verification for my bank account. What else could I do now? Late at night, when people aren't really shopping anyway, that's when you should list. Remember this, always list in the evening at the same time if possible. I always do it from 11 o'clock at night. Right now, it's currently 11:17 at night, and as you can see right here, I still have 44 listings left to go. eBay gives me a total of 320 per month for my private account. You should make sure to use up all of these 44 listings. I'm going to go ahead and list another 20 or 30 items now, and I'll see you tomorrow, my dear friends. Let's go. We've completely set up our eBay shop. We've made our first sale. We've placed our first order on Amazon, and now it's very important, friends, that we install TrackerBot. What is TrackerBot? What is TrackerBot used for? When you place an order on Amazon, you will be provided with a tracking number from Amazon Logistics. This tracking number from Amazon starts with DE, and then there's a number after it. The tracking number that you get from Amazon is not publicly trackable by the general public. Only you can use this tracking number within your own personal Amazon account. That means if you upload this tracking number to eBay or provide it directly to the customer, they will be unable to use it to track the package. Now the problem is, for example, if your package arrives, the customer can still claim, hey, the delivery never arrived. You can never prove it to the customer. If the customer were to open a case on eBay now, you would definitely lose the case and your money as well. Regardless of that, it's also very important for the eBay algorithm that you provide trackable tracking numbers on eBay. For this, I use TrackerBot. TrackerBot is an awesome team. We are also in contact with TrackerBot. We have a community link with TrackerBot. The CEO of TrackerBot and also the moderators, they know me. They are also in my member group as well as in the public group. From time to time, we make some announcements together, and anyone who signs up through my link gets 15% off. That's the CEO of TrackerBot, dear Valentin. We are in contact. Great guy, greetings to Bulgaria as well. The Chief Executive Officer and his team are also currently in my Telegram group. I wouldn't be Fatih Patan if I hadn't managed to get us another discount. If you sign up using this link here, you can find this link in my Telegram group. You can also find this link in the Fatih Patan bot. You will also be redirected to my link tree via fatihpatan.de. You can also find this TrackerBot community link down below, including a 15% discount. TrackerBot has several other advantages. For example, we can make sure that when a package is automatically shipped, the customer receives a notification saying, hey, your package has been dispatched. Here is your tracking number. Additionally, when the package arrives, the customer will receive another notification from you. There you can also remind them again that if the package was not delivered personally, they should check the designated drop-off location or, if applicable, their mailbox. Additionally, a few weeks after the sale, you can also send the customer another notification asking for a positive review. TrackerBot also has some awesome features. For example, you can automatically ensure that your orders are marked as shipped on eBay. This way you don't put your service status at risk. After I enter my email address and password, I still need to fill out this field. There, I simply write EcomSniper, accept the terms and conditions, and create the account. Very important, friends. Now your TrackerBot account will be linked to your eBay account. Here it is really very important that you select exactly the right option because you won't be able to change it later. If you're unlucky, you might have to create a new TrackerBot account. Pay attention to this. Since we sell on eBay, I sell on eBay. Now it's very important that you select the API version of TrackerBot here. Otherwise, you won't be able to use most of TrackerBot's features. Normally, you should be careful with an API. An API is really dangerous, especially on an eBay account. Personally, I would never connect my eBay account to a tool that I am not personally sure about. For example, most colleagues and newcomers, especially those who come from AutoDS and have already used the AutoDS API, usually only have problems with their eBay accounts. The good thing about TrackerBot is that its API doesn't require as many permissions as other tools, and if, for example, such a tool ends up on eBay's blacklist, all other accounts that have ever used this API will also be suspended. For example, this will certainly happen now to most AutoDS users and/or some copycats. That's why, friends, pay attention to what you're doing there. In this example here, I have definitely had very, very good experiences with TrackerBot. The same goes for my community and my team. We are really very, very happy that we have TrackerBot. I'm also a huge fan of TrackerBot myself. The cool thing is we need them, they need us, and so we really make a great team. And as already mentioned, the CEO and his moderators are also in my group. We have a partnership and I also have a link. In general, if any of you have problems with TrackerBot, you will, God willing, be given priority treatment by the TrackerBot team. If you have any issues there, get in touch with me. If necessary, I can escalate it again within the TrackerBot team. And the most important thing, friends, is that we are all satisfied here and get quick help if we have any problems. Now, this is a very important step right here. I choose the API option, which essentially means that it is completely automatic. Click on Next. Next, I am going to need to go ahead and connect my TrackerBot account with my eBay account. To do this, I click on Connect eBay. By default, TrackerBot loads the ebay.com domain. That's absolutely no problem. Of course, you can still log in here with your eBay account. After you have verified yourself, eBay will ask again if I'm really sure that I want to grant TrackerBot permissions for my eBay account. You can also read exactly which permissions these are here. I have to verify this right here. After confirming, I will be redirected back to the TrackerBot page. Currently, I only have one order on Amazon. Click here on Next. Now comes the most important step. I now need to install the TrackerBot plugin for my Google Chrome profile. Right now, I am currently logged into my eBay profile because I maintain a separate Amazon profile for my business. I place all of my orders using that Amazon profile. Since I am actively using the EcomSniper plugin in this specific eBay account, and I generally do not log into Amazon from here at all. To do this, I will now switch over to my personal Amazon profile, open up the trackerbot.me website once again here, and then log into my brand new TrackerBot account within this specific Amazon profile. After doing that, I am automatically redirected back to the exact menu item where I left off the last time I was here. Click here on Download Extension. Simply click right here on Add, then select Add Extension and confirm your choice again. As you can see, the download process is currently being completed and finalized in the background. If everything has been installed successfully, you can also choose to pin the TrackerBot plugin. Now we simply click on it right here. As you can clearly see right here, I am also automatically logged into my TrackerBot account. Go to TrackerBot account. Now I can complete the onboarding process here. Click on Next. Afterwards, I am informed that I should now log into Amazon. To do this, I click here on the plugin on Amazon Checker. This is very important, friends. You have to select the German domain here because we are using amazon.de. Because I was already logged into Amazon with this specific Amazon profile, I can easily check that right here. If I click on my orders here, as you can clearly see, I am already logged into my Amazon account. If you weren't logged in yet, a new pop-up window would open up so you could log into your account on amazon.de. That's why, friends, we created a separate Amazon profile. How can I check if I'm logged in? Just click here on your bookmark, which you should have already created. As you can see, I can access my orders immediately. Here I have to scroll down again and click on Continue. Next, you need to select the service provider. This service provider is then used to convert the Amazon tracking number into a publicly trackable tracking number. TrackerBot gives you several options for this. For us, the most important thing is that they are accepted by eBay, so we can win cases if the customer reports the item as not delivered. We also want the eBay algorithm to recognize through this tracking number that the package was automatically delivered. I've had very good experiences with this service provider. This service provider has also been used by professionals for years. Never change a running system. VD-Track is still new on the market, so I'm sticking with the old school. All these years I've used this one and never had any problems. Additionally, to save credits, I make sure to select this specific option right here. Every time a tracking number is converted, one of your available credits will also be used up in TrackerBot. The tracking numbers from DHL, UPS, and various other shipping carriers are already accepted by eBay. Therefore, it's not necessary to use your TrackerBot credits for these conversions. That is why I only want my Amazon tracking numbers to be converted. These are my settings for my TrackerBot account. Just make sure that the checkbox here is still checked. Then click on Done. Next, we need to enter credit card information. As you can see, you now get 15% off the software here. Listen up, friends. You don't need the Paste Me Copy Paste tool from TrackerBot. This is already included in the EcomSniper plugin. With this, you could automatically copy customer shipping addresses from eBay to Amazon. We already have this function in the EcomSniper plugin, so it's not needed here. As you can see, we also have our 15% discount here now. At least that's something. Now I'm entering my credit card information here. Once you have entered your credit card information, since we pay 19% VAT in Germany, this additional field will appear. Then I click on Start. After entering my credit card information, I am now in the TrackerBot dashboard. Just a quick reminder, nothing has been charged yet. As you can see, I have a 14-day trial period. You should also be able to see all your orders here in the dashboard. Very important, friends. Now we first need to create a bookmark. We'll also add the TrackerBot dashboard to our bookmarks bar. In the future, you'll need these two bookmarks more often. Now, I'm going to show you exactly how you can manually convert an order in TrackerBot. This order, which we had already processed together, has already been delivered to the customer. I would now like to convert the tracking number retroactively. Normally, this process happens automatically. However, I created my TrackerBot account after the Amazon orders had been placed, after my orders had been delivered. Therefore, I now have to do the whole thing retroactively as an exception. If you create your TrackerBot account right away and synchronize regularly, of course you don't have to do all of this manually. How does synchronization happen automatically with TrackerBot? That's why, friends, it's important that you have a separate Amazon profile. Whenever you click on the plugin, as you can see, a bar spins here. Your Amazon account is automatically synchronized in the background. As you can see, the plugin has opened a second TrackerBot tab. This tab runs constantly in the background. You also get a notification here that you shouldn't close this window. It is used automatically for this purpose. I would like to simulate that again. As you can see, Amazon is automatically opened in the background and TrackerBot automatically synchronizes your Amazon orders into your profile. As I have already mentioned, since these orders are from the past, I have to convert them manually. To do this, I simply click right here on my TrackerBot dashboard and identify the order here. This is my eBay order. As you can clearly see here, the customer ordered on the 25th, and the entire package was delivered on the 27th. This is the order we're talking about, friends. Here I can check everything again. Although the package has already been delivered, the eBay system hasn't recognized anything yet. Of course, that's no surprise as to why. So far, I haven't added a tracking number here either. If I just copy and paste the tracking number from Amazon here, it won't help me, friends. This tracking number is not publicly trackable. That's exactly why you need TrackerBot. TrackerBot ensures that this tracking number from Amazon is converted into a publicly trackable tracking number. Afterwards, your eBay can see that the package has been delivered. You can then also prove this to the customer. This boosts your eBay algorithm. If the customer opens cases on eBay along the lines of "the package hasn't arrived," you will also win these cases. That's why, just to be on the safe side and to demonstrate it to you, in case you also have problems with automatic synchronization, I'm going to show you how you can manually convert everything. I've also identified everything here in my TrackerBot dashboard. Scroll to the right and click on Convert Tracker. Once that step is complete, I have to select a provider again. For our automatic conversion, we had selected this specific service provider listed right here, and for the manual conversion, I am going to go ahead and select the exact same one. Next, I am asked where I place the order. In this case, I place my order through the Amazon platform. Now, I'll need to add the link from my Amazon order page right here. This is exactly the page, friends, where you can also see the tracking number. From here, just click on the web link, and when the entire thing is highlighted, right-click to copy. Once. Then I simply go back here, right-click to paste. Convert and upload. Now, I have just received a brand new tracking number from TrackerBot. If I refresh my TrackerBot dashboard and scroll down a bit, as you can clearly see, I now have both an orange and a blue tracking number. Right here, I can also see exactly which Amazon account this is associated with. You also have the convenient option here to view the full order details from Amazon directly with just one simple click. Here you can also see that the package has been delivered. Now, this is very important to keep in mind, my friends. Since we have only just created this tracking number a few minutes ago, if I were to click on it right now, of course you are only going to see that this label was generated just a few minutes ago. The whole system typically updates within about 24 hours. That means if I check it again tomorrow, I will also be able to see a full tracking history. I'll also be able to see that the package was successfully delivered to the customer, including the customer's address. If you have manually gone through and converted every single item here in your TrackerBot dashboard, it should also automatically begin to synchronize and update with eBay. To do this, I will now go ahead and click once more on my eBay One profile. Here I had already looked at the details. If I go ahead and refresh the page here now, as you can clearly see, TrackerBot has automatically transferred this tracking number to eBay as well. If I click on it right here now, I still don't have any tracking information available just yet. Why? We only just generated this tracking number a few minutes ago, and it's still updating. The TrackerBot system is now updating everything in the background. Tomorrow, when I check this order, I should also receive confirmation from eBay that the package has been successfully delivered to its destination. As I said, friends, this is definitely a must-have. This also gives you several advantages. First, your eBay algorithm gets a boost. Second, if the customer opens a case because the package hasn't arrived, you will win them. Third, and very important, your eBay payouts will be processed much faster. If you don't provide a tracking number, you have to wait for eBay's timeout. That can take several weeks. You can check all of this on eBay under Payments. Back to the Amazon profile. We're back in the TrackerBot dashboard. We manually converted the first tracking number. In the future, this will all happen automatically. To get the most out of TrackerBot, I'd like to go through a few more settings with you. To do this, we click on Profile, eBay Settings, scroll down a bit, and click here on Mark Order as Shipped, friends. This is very important. Once a full day has passed, your orders will automatically be marked as shipped on eBay. If you recall, when an order comes in on eBay, there were 3 steps that you had to complete. Step number 1 was to mark the whole thing as shipped. Step number 2 was to increase the quantity. The third step in the sequence was to place the order and leave a detailed note on eBay containing the order number. Right here, in case you happen to forget it later, you basically have a solid backup. If you have already set your processing time to 2 days, the entire process will now be handled automatically by TrackerBot. This way, you have a complete automation system. Also, it is very important, my friends, under the messaging section, I would definitely activate auto messaging. For partner export, right here, I select Germany. Here you can also find all the other countries where eBay is currently active. Then I click on Item Ship. This means that once a package has been shipped, TrackerBot should automatically send an automated message to the customer. What would the message look like then? Here, together with my community, I've already created a really awesome template. Hello, Mr. Ms., customer's last name. Your order has been successfully shipped. The tracking information will soon be provided on eBay and continuously updated. Our shipping partners, such as Amazon Logistics, DPD, and DHL, ensure fast delivery. If you have any questions, our customer service is happy to assist you. Thank you very much for your purchase. Let's go ahead and save that. Also, it is very important. I want to set up an automatic notification for when the package has finally been delivered. Here too we have the best prompt. It goes like this. Hello, Mr. Ms., customer's last name. According to our shipping provider, your delivery has been successfully delivered. If the package was not handed over to you personally, please check designated drop-off locations, your mailbox, or ask your neighbors. Your satisfaction is very important to us. If you have any questions or problems, and so on. Best regards, Partner Export. This is also very important, friends. If the package was not handed over directly to the customer, they receive another note by email. Hey, the package must be somewhere around you. It often happens that Amazon Logistics uses mailboxes or designated drop-off locations. Here you would have given the customer another reminder. I saved the whole thing. And it is also very important, friends. It is absolutely essential that you click Save right over here again. If you now go back to auto messaging here, most people tell me, hey, I made the settings, but they disappear. No, it seems you didn't set the settings as default for all countries, but only specifically for Germany. If you now click on Germany again, right here, you should see your message and the check marks you set. Additionally, I would also activate the feedback reminder here again. There, I would select the option, please, exactly 14 days after the purchase. Here I have as a template. Good day, Mr. and Mrs. Customer's last name. Thank you very much for your purchase of. Then the product title is mentioned. As a small seller, we rely on the reviews of our customers. If you are satisfied with your purchase, we would greatly appreciate a positive review. Thank you very much for your support. Best regards, Partner Export. We save all of these changes to the system. After that, I have managed to maximize the full potential of my TrackerBot account. Next, I would like to carefully go through my TrackerBot settings with you once again, just to be sure. I click here on Accounts. As you can see, my eBay account is mapped here. The whole thing is also active. I haven't linked any others yet. If I go to the eBay settings again here, I have selected this service provider. I want only the Amazon tracking numbers to be converted. Everything else was default. For you, it's only important that you also check the box down here. Why? So that your orders are automatically marked as shipped on eBay one day later. Afterwards, under the auto messaging section, I carefully selected Germany, item ship, and item delivered. I had already set up a specific template for each of those categories there and saved everything. Also, I did this once again for the feedback reminder as well. 2 weeks later, this message is automatically sent to the customer. It has been saved here. Now let's go back to the TrackerBot dashboard. As you can see, my Amazon profile has been open the whole time. At regular intervals, TrackerBot has automatically synchronized through this window here, basically via my Amazon account. As you can clearly see, some new orders from Amazon have come in here, which the system has successfully recognized as delivered. However, it didn't perform the automatic conversion because these particular orders were placed in the past. However, I also want to convert these orders. Better safe than sorry. To do this, I simply click here on Delivered. This is the Amazon page where I can see the tracking number. From there, simply right-click, select Copy, and then go back. Now, go over to the other window, scroll to the right, and click on Convert Tracker. Next, select this service provider, click on Amazon, right-click in the field, and paste the number. By using the Convert and Upload feature, I should receive a new tracking number. If I see this tracking number here in my TrackerBot dashboard, then I should also see it on my eBay account. I would quickly check the whole thing. Go back to eBay one, click on my orders, then paid and shipped. Those were the ones we already completed. As you can see, I immediately see the tracking number here. This tracking number was also created together with me. It can take 24 to 48 hours at most for the shipment history to be synchronized. After that, you will also see here that the package was successfully delivered. That means we have already converted 2 tracking numbers into a publicly trackable tracking number. These are productive eBay orders, and of course with this tracking number as well, it's important to me that it can be tracked publicly. And here too, I want to quickly get my money back from eBay. If the customer opens up any dispute cases, I will win them and can provide proof to eBay and the customer that the package was successfully delivered. That's how it should look for you, friends. Everything else hasn't been shipped yet on my end, after these 2 orders have been shipped out. If I then go to my personal Amazon profile right here and click on the browser plugin, once the synchronization process is fully complete and I can see the word active displayed here, I can basically check the status again under the account section. The last update for me was at 12:15 a.m. As I mentioned before, this is updated at regular intervals. Pay close attention, my friends. If you close this TrackerBot window here, when you click on the plugin, it will automatically reopen it in the background. This specific window is required by TrackerBot and the plugin to function correctly. Don't be surprised, friends. Right up here, you can easily see your current available TrackerBot credit balance. During the test phase, you receive 20 credits. After using your 20 credits, or after 14 days, you will then need to choose a paid plan. For that, I recommend you take this business package, which can of course be cancelled monthly. After you have successfully made your selection, you can add 3 eBay accounts and an unlimited number of Amazon accounts. Don't be confused, by that they mean Amazon seller accounts. You basically have a buyer account. You also have enough credits, so you don't need to worry about that for now. When are the automatic notifications from TrackerBot activated? The moment you notice a blue tracking number appearing here. Once everything has been synchronized with the eBay platform, your messages should be sent out automatically. You can also check all of this information under the Messages tab. As you can see, here are the 4 specific messages from my recent orders. TrackerBot worked flawlessly. That was my first simulated order. I simulated a price offer for you there. However, I still went ahead and processed the order for real. TrackerBot sent me a notification message because the package was shipped. TrackerBot also sent another message because the package was successfully delivered. Additionally, 2 weeks after that, TrackerBot should ask for customer feedback again. Pay close attention, my friends, because there should always be 2 separate windows open within your Amazon profile at all times. If you happen to close the main window, the window will automatically open back up right here in this specific tab. The most important thing for you to fully understand is that even if you close this window, you can easily reactivate it whenever you need. As soon as you click on the plugin icon right here, absolutely everything will open up for you once again. Back to the TrackerBot dashboard. As of right now, there's nothing left for me to do here. And generally from now on, whenever I place my orders, whenever I load the link into my Amazon profile anyway, I open the Amazon profile at least once every single day. When I open the profile, for example, to place my orders on eBay using the copy auto order link, this window will automatically open in the background anyway. Synchronization will then automatically take place for you every day. Either way, you need to understand the principle. Keep in mind that the synchronization doesn't actually happen automatically. You basically have to manually click on the TrackerBot plugin icon right here once a day. Just make sure that you see the word active displayed here. If you see active, then you can be certain that the sync process has started. Then you know that the sync process is active and there should be a TrackerBot window open somewhere in the background. Why? This is because it can now open Amazon tabs for automatic synchronization. Otherwise, if you run into any problems with TrackerBot, you can simply activate a live chat session at the bottom right of your screen. There you can describe your problem. And as I said, friends, the TrackerBot team are great guys and they'll definitely help you out. If you still can't get any further, it will be escalated to me. If necessary, I'll contact the guys or even reach out to the CEO and explain it for you. Let's go. Now, let's continue with our eBay account. As I mentioned earlier, my friends, you should check the eBay Seller Hub every single day. It is very important that we do our eBay homework once again. As you can see, we have 6 different offers to review today. I'll take care of this immediately for you. To do this, I click on this check mark here. That way I select all 6 of these listings and click on Send Offers. Here I just go with 5% and confirm everything. It really doesn't matter all that much to me whether the customers actually accept the offer or not. In this situation, it's only important for me to complete my eBay tasks and basically follow every instruction the algorithm tells me to do. We are also experiencing a few more significant issues and problems with some of our listings again. Let's take a look at that. Right here, under Editing Possible, I see a listing that has reported a specific problem. Additionally, if I click on Prohibited Items here, the other 2 should appear on the screen as well. Here are the 3 listings that are currently experiencing a problem. Here I can view the details once more. Once again, eBay's AI has detected something that is not permitted. I could file an appeal. I'll go ahead and simply end the listing. And that will close out the entire case. For this case as well, I'll essentially just end the listing. I could file a formal appeal, or I could edit the listing. However, I don't want any trouble. I want to show the eBay algorithm that I am following their rules. If something is still missing here, check over the details of the prohibited items again. Scroll down, then end the listings. Back to the seller cockpit. As you can see, I still see the 3 problems here. That's completely normal, friends. The eBay algorithm is working in the background. It takes a little while for everything to update. Don't be surprised. A few minutes later, the whole thing should disappear up here as well. Sometimes you'll also get a notification from eBay telling you to refresh because something has changed in the background again. I'm also going to quickly process the 2 new orders that just came in right now. First, I'll view the purchase details, scroll down, and click on Copy Auto Link. Then I'll click right here on my Amazon One profile. As you can see, the TrackerBot plugin window opens automatically. It synchronizes. In principle, I could continue working in this tab, but I don't want to, so I minimize it. After that, simply right-click to paste and open the link. Both the payment and the entire order are also processed completely automatically. Specific order details such as the order number are then automatically read by Amazon. A note is also automatically added on eBay right here with the data from Amazon. Additionally, it automatically marks the whole thing as shipped on eBay. You would still have TrackerBot running in the background now, or you should do it manually. Here, the quantity was just increased. That's also very important, friends. The end. Why? So that people will buy it again. Something that has been sold on eBay will most likely be sold again. This is pushed by the algorithm. Also, and this is very important too, a small marketing effect. If you look at the already sold listing on eBay again, you'll see here that it has already been sold. That gives the eBay customer confidence. Additionally, this is also a nice hint here. Also make sure that you have a 30-day return policy listed here and, of course, free return shipping. Of course, I would need to refresh here again so that the quantity is updated as well. Here, the whole thing has been shipped. Here I have my order number from Amazon. So this order has also been completed. There is still one order open here. Click on View Purchase Details. Then scroll down and click on Copy Auto Link. Next, open your Amazon Eins profile, right-click to paste, and open it. Here too, the order should be processed automatically. The EcomSniper plugin automatically changes the address, processes the payment and the order for you. Afterwards, it reads the order data from Amazon, such as the order number, closes everything for you, adds an additional note on eBay, marks the whole thing as shipped for you, and increases the quantity again. Once that's finished, you will also see your profile right here. Now, here in my Amazon profile, you can see these orders. As soon as I click into my Amazon profile again, the TrackerBot plugin synchronizes Amazon through this window. Amazon tabs open up here in the top left, as you can see. As soon as this item has been shipped out, an Amazon tracking number in orange should be updated and added to my TrackerBot dashboard. It should automatically be converted into a publicly trackable tracking number. Afterwards, the whole thing is automatically added here on eBay via the API. The customer receives a message that the item has been shipped. When the item has been delivered, for example, during the next sync, the customer receives another delivery confirmation. Afterwards, the customer is asked for a review again 2 weeks later. I think that's a great service. EcomSniper and TrackerBot, that's a master combo, friends. This takes you to the next level, and this is exactly where most people fail. Most eBay accounts get suspended, the service status becomes an absolute disaster, and people just can't reach the next level. Back to the seller cockpit. As you can see, there's still a problem here with the eBay system. I have already successfully dealt with these 3 issues. However, there is a slight delay in the eBay backend system right now. Normally, if I refresh the page a few minutes later, this should disappear and everything here should also be marked as completed. Also, surprise friends, I have just received 2 brand new reviews here. Thanks, everything was perfect. I just received the goods, everything's great. I'll gladly order again. Fast delivery, top notch. That's what we love to hear, friends. It's very important to us, especially in our business. The customer is king. We're basically resellers. We basically earn as resellers. And the most important thing for us is that the customer has a great experience. Thank God we are able to offer good service here simply through our notifications. And in general, if the customer is dissatisfied, if the customer has a problem, always make sure that the customer is satisfied. The customer is king. Remember that. That's really the best thing you can do. Always satisfy the customer. Whether it's for your eBay algorithm, for your overall success, or of course for your own peace of mind. We earn our money as resellers. We basically take a certain commission. In return, we give the customer the best service. If you remember, TrackerBot sent out an automatic notification. The customer also replied to you, "The goods have arrived. Thank you." Normally, I would also thank the customer again here and ask them for a positive review. But I noticed that the customer has already left a very positive review for us. For me, this purchase is successfully completed. We are now in a new month. With a private eBay account, you get 320 listings per month. You are allowed to post 320 listings every month for free without any listing fees. This gives you the opportunity to warm up your eBay account. As you know, we only started with this account a few days ago. If I now look at the traffic here, as you can see, there is still far too little data to draw any conclusions in general. Additionally, your overall eBay success and your eBay algorithm are determined by your service status. My next evaluation is not until March 20th. If I consistently ensure that I remain well above average here, and if I make sure that I have a 0 defect rate, what do you need to pay attention to? You can also check that here. Our task is to move from above average to top rated. There you can see that you need to have at least 0.5% or less for this. Don't underestimate it, friends. You are already below average if you are above 2%. If you notice that you can't meet your deadline, then you need to increase your processing time. As already mentioned, the customer is king. Always make sure that the customer is happy. It's better to just give them a refund. You'll get your money back from Amazon or AliExpress anyway. Don't argue with the customer, because if you argue with the customer, the chances are very high that they will leave you a bad review, and a bad review is also not good for your eBay algorithm. Believe me, if you stick to this, if you consistently do this for months and always make sure that your service status is above average or even in the top rating, then I promise you that your eBay account will definitely convert well. Why? Because you have also built up a history. The eBay algorithm knows exactly, this guy here, he worked really well that month. Regardless of that, later on, when you start operating as a business and apply for the fast track program, it's very important that the eBay employees see, hey, this seller works very cleanly, this seller has nothing against him, this seller fits with us, this seller makes sure the customer is satisfied. This seller has understood the principle. This seller can prove everything. He pays attention to deadlines. If problems are reported by the buyer, he resolves them automatically. That's very important, friends. Make sure of this so that in the future you can scale commercially with multiple eBay accounts. If you can't already work properly and cleanly with one account, why should eBay allow you a second account? Last month, I listed 20 to 40 items here every day. This month, I'm going to increase a bit. This month, I will list 30 to 60 items per day so that I use up all of this ammunition within a week. For the remaining 3 weeks, I want to focus entirely on my eBay homework, the eBay algorithm, the incoming orders, customer service, and generally on increasing my overall profit. That's why, friends, this is my tip. Make sure to use up your credits at the beginning of the month, for example, in the first week, so that you can cash in for the remaining 3 weeks. During the first month, I would aim to list at 30% to 40%. Then, in the second month, I would increase that to 40% to 50%. And by the third month, I would go up to 50% to 60%. In order to list 300 more new items, I will need new Amazon product links. So far, we had 464 Chinese Amazon manufacturer links. After we listed those, I ended up with about 305 items. A few of your items were not uploaded. You can review the details again here under the status report. Some were duplicate entries, some were on the blacklist, and some were, of course, successfully listed. That means I need new links here. If you remember, we need good titles from eBay for the new links. First, I'll clean up the list here and the whole thing as well. As you might remember, I had already scanned through 270 manufacturers and 270 eBay sellers. Afterwards, I filtered everything down to 5 in 3 days, and then I had 275 titles left. Now I'm going to need more new titles. Either I add some more new sellers here. That's also what I strongly recommend for you to do. You should also be consistently updating your database daily. The database consists of the sellers. You don't always have to scan again. You can just leave it as it is. Afterwards, you can add some new sellers using the eBay search bar. For example, here for summer, you should set the filter to buy it now to get the best possible results. And as I have already told you before, please make sure that you have a minimum of at least 2,000 reviews and that you have a very good product here. If you're lazy, like I am right now, you can also use an extract sellers tool. However, the likelihood is very high that you'll also get some bad eBay sellers there. Personally, I always prefer to go for quantity. Also, friends, please take a moment to make sure that when you scroll down here, the items per page is not set to 60, but rather to 240. If I click the button here again, a lot more sellers should be loaded into the list, both quickly and very easily. If you scroll down, for example, if you go to the second page, you can quickly and easily add even more eBay sellers to your list. Back to the competitor scanner. If I refresh everything here, as you can see, I now have 501 eBay sellers in my list. I would just go ahead and click on Run here again and allow the entire process to run through once more. And as you can see, up to position 270, we had already scanned everything. What this means for the future as well is that when I use any brand new keywords in the official eBay search bar, these already scanned sellers will not have to be scanned again. Really important, friends, make sure to maintain your list here. You can always scan again from time to time, yes, but do not delete this list. Otherwise, the likelihood is very high that you'll keep seeing the same products over and over again. Searching through is very important. Friends, you really need to filter here. Now I have about 500. I still had about 300 from last month, so I'll copy them out again here. I can import that via the product hunter. And again, this is very important. Friends, since we have a duplicate database at EcomSniper, even if it pulls out the same links again, that's not a problem. They will never be listed. They are automatically ignored by the bulk poster. And this ensures that you don't have duplicate listings in your eBay account. This is also very important later on if you have multiple eBay shops. Friends, you are not allowed to list the same offers on one eBay account. That's the requirement since I'm now in the next month and again want to list about, that makes a total of 300 items. It really should be more than enough if he finds just one more offer per row here. Afterwards, I should definitely reach the 300 items so that this month as well, I use up my 320 listings that eBay provides. As I said, my recommendation here is to use them all up in the first week so that you can collect the rest in the following weeks. And you can then focus only on your eBay homework, on the orders, and on customer service. If you have a return, and if the customer wants to return the item within the standard 30-day window, then you will need to manage and process the incoming return request. To do this, we simply click on the return request, then click right here for more details. Afterwards, I can accept the return here or provide the customer with a full or partial refund directly. In this case, I just want to accept the return. I have no desire to argue with the seller. I simply wish to provide him with a QR code as quickly as possible. He should send the item back. As soon as I have the item, I will refund him the purchase amount. To do this, I click on Next. Following that, I have several different options here that I can choose from. I will then select the option, Confirm that you have sent a label. Click on Next. Here, I select DHL. Enter the tracking number. Check the message. Click on the Next button. After that, I'll navigate here using the order number to open the order details. As you can see, here you get another notice from eBay that the customer has started a return process. I scroll down. For me, the specific order number is very important here. I copy this, go to my Amazon account, go to my profile, and then paste the order number right here before clicking on Go. Pay close attention, my friends. You will need to delete the hash symbol just once. Here you can quickly check again if this is really the order. Viruses, it's exactly the same. Then I go ahead and click on Show Order Details. And after that has been completed, I click here on Reset or Replace Item. Here, for example, carefully select what the customer also specified on eBay. In this case, it was I don't like it anymore. Here, I would definitely recommend not always choosing the same option, but to switch it up from time to time. Or I don't like the quality. Click on Next. I would really like to have the money fully reimbursed to my bank account or back to my credit card. Click on Next. Here it's important, friends, that I select DHL drop-off at a post office or parcel shop. Neither packaging nor printer required. Select this option. Click on Confirm Return for the item. In this example, Amazon asks if we want to keep the item. For that, I would receive a €2 gift. No, actually, I want to return it. Once you receive the specific return code from Amazon, here is a helpful tip from me. First, press the Windows key and the left arrow together. Then click on the button labeled Message to Buyer. Next, press the Windows key and the right arrow. Immediately afterwards, you can simply use your mouse to drag this QR code from the left side over to the right side into the send message box right here. There, the QR code will be uploaded for you on eBay. After that, I would write a brief set of instructions here. To get this done, I simply copy the message text. Since I'm a very lazy person who prefers efficiency, I head over to ChatGPT and ask it to write a nice, professional and short message for my eBay customer. In this message, I make sure to mention that I have already gone ahead and added the specific QR code as an attachment so they can find it easily. Enter. Here I've put together a general message. I copy this one. I would also highly recommend that you save the whole thing as a template in a text file so you can just copy and paste it again whenever you need it in the future. Future template. As you can see, the customer now has a message. If the customer is also using the mobile app, it will pop up on their device as well. By using these messages, they can then show this QR code to you. Once you have received an official email from Amazon stating that your refund has been fully processed, as soon as Amazon has officially confirmed that you will definitely receive your refund, or as soon as you have actually gotten your investment back, you will then need to finally close the return request on the eBay platform. As you can clearly see, right here in my eBay seller cockpit, I still have an open return case. There I click on more details because I have already received an email from Amazon stating that the customer has dropped off the package, so now I can release everything. To do this, I click on Offer Refund. Then I click on Send Full Refund. Here I click on Continue. Thank you very much for your purchase. All the best. This whole process might even encourage a positive review. Click on Continue, then on Refund Now. I have to confirm everything again. As you can see, the refund has now been initiated. Here too, the eBay system needs a little time so that the refund can be processed. Here as well, the customer receives the amount back via the original payment method. That means if the customer paid via PayPal or credit card, depending on the method, that's exactly where they will receive their refund within a few days. Back again to the eBay seller cockpit. It's incredibly important here, my friends. Every single time you log in, you absolutely need to make sure you do your homework. These are your daily eBay tasks. Regardless of your listings, regardless of your specific strategy and method for boosting your account, and regardless of how you can achieve many more sales. The most important thing really is these eBay tasks. As you can see, I have now completed all my tasks here as well. Now I can log out, as I already mentioned. This month I can list 320 items again without any listing fees. I'll have to switch to a business account soon anyway, but for now, I'm still using the time to warm up this eBay account and boost the algorithm. Either way, even for you, if you're not selling as a business yet, believe me, it's better to warm up the account first. And in general, if I'm not mistaken, in Germany, you're allowed to register your business retroactively for 3 months. You should double check that, but either way, eBay will of course prompt you to do so. At some point, you'll definitely have to switch to a business account. Regardless of that, I'm not surprised that eBay requires this from everyone, including taxes from everyone. You can, for example, find this number on your invoice, this tax number which everyone has to enter. Please don't confuse this with the VAT number, the VAT ID. Only business sellers are required to provide that. That means when you start out right at the beginning, no business registration, no VAT, ID, and so on. But either way, at the latest, once you're absolutely sure you want to go through with this, by the third month at the latest, you'll of course need to switch to a business account. We're not doing anything illegal here. We want to follow the laws. The most important thing is don't get on eBay's bad side. You always have to stay in the green zone. Stick to the eBay community rules. Make sure you don't attract negative attention, of course. And make sure that in a way eBay ends up promoting you because of that, because you've always worked cleanly and properly. When you register a business, you also apply for a VAT ID. Depending on the federal state, it takes 2 to 8 weeks to receive it. The good thing is, even if you switch to a business account and don't have a VAT ID yet, eBay gives you a certain grace period because you have about 4 weeks to submit everything. Basically, it's exactly the same every month now. I would now have to relist 320 items. As already mentioned, in order to do that, I need to fill my supplier list, generate new Amazon links using the product hunter, and list new items using the bold poster. I use this time to further boost my account to basically bring more data into my account. Until then, my service status remains at least above average. Of course, the best would be a top rating. That will definitely boost your eBay account. In the future, you'll also get some benefits from eBay, such as the eBay Plus logo. The plan is in motion. We're waiting for more data to come in. I have to make sure that my eBay account, that the algorithm collects data. As you can see, I've received 6 new messages here, but they're just unread messages from the eBay system. That also pushes the algorithm here with just a few clicks. Simply mark all these notifications as read. After that, when I go back to the seller cockpit, as you can see, everything has been completed. Messages 0. That's it from me for today. Now I've started up the product hunter and I'm looking for new Amazon links. Right after that is finished, I will use up all of my 320 credits that I have available for this current month. That way, I'll reach my 600 items here and then I'll keep going. This is exactly how it should look. My friends, it has actually only been a few short hours since I successfully converted that Amazon tracking number into a fully public tracking number. The eBay system has now recognized that the package has been delivered. Right here, by using the tracking number, I can also access even more specific details if I happen to need more information. Through this link, you'll find a wealth of additional information, such as the exact delivery location, current status, and so on. In principle, you can request additional details. The good thing is, friends, I also received a positive review for this order. And very important, friends, here you can view more details. Here you can check exactly how things are looking with the payout. As you can see, I have a total turnover of 62.95 so far. My eBay balance is 21 euros and 90 cents. 40 euros have been withheld. Here, through the summary, I can also take another look at everything. As you can see, I have 29 euros and 90 cents. That is the amount that will be paid out to me. I had already verified myself with my bank account, right here by looking at the payout schedule. Or I can configure the settings so that all your transactions occur automatically every single day. To do this, I simply click here on the file, click on Scheduled Payouts, and then click Next. Then I select the option here for daily and click on Save. After doing that, your eBay payouts should now be made directly to your bank account on a daily basis. Once you have successfully saved all of your changes, you can go ahead and close it. At this point, you should check once more to make sure it is definitely set to daily. Why was it withheld? If you scroll down, you can read here exactly why. Here, the total amount was withheld because it has not yet been successfully delivered. In this case, it's because either the Amazon order has not yet been shipped out to you, and/or the public tracking number is still not synced. That's why I have to be a little more patient. Here under Show, you can view more details. Some members are surprised when they pay 7 euros and 95 cents for the item, but sometimes, for example, only 7 euros and 60 cents is paid out. The reason for this is that you most likely have run ads. We have not done that yet, but we will certainly do it. You could check back here again at a later time. In this example, I didn't pay any fees, no commission costs, and also no advertising fees. That means it was sold for 14 euros and 20 cents. 14 euros and 20 cents will be paid out to me here. It will be paid out as soon as it is released. It will be released when you provide a public tracking number. As soon as the eBay system has recognized that your package has been delivered. That is why, my friends, trackers is very important. That is exactly why I work with trackers every day. You won't get this service anywhere else except at EcomSniper or, of course, with Team Fratipan. So, on Sundays, we always have team calls for beginners. Let's just drop in right now and ask how much money are the members actually making. So, those who joined at the end of August.
That's when I signed up, but I actually started in December, the 23rd of December.
Okay, but look, I can already see your revenue. It looks amazing. Very cool. What kind of margin are you at right now?
Right now I'm at 70.
At 70%.
But I've only had that for a day or two when I thought, come on, I check my sales center daily anyway. That was actually my main question.
Exactly. Like you said, you started a new campaign. A campaign always needs 2 or 3 days, sometimes even up to a week, to stabilize a bit. Check this campaign at 12.14. It's only that high because previous days were poor. Consider that those earlier days were actually good. It's just changed in the last 2 weeks. There were only 3 or 4 days when things weren't optimal, you know? Yo guys, what's up?
What's up?
How are you? A very good evening to you. Salam alaikum. I wish you a blessed Ramadan and a blessed evening. I just wanted to quickly jump in here and say hello to you all. There are a few of us that I don't know at all, and I'm thinking, awesome, dude. What does bizzle mean, bro? Speak openly and honestly here. What does bizzle mean? So, what exactly did you take, if I may ask?
We are currently at, now from the beginning until now, we're at 1,000. So without any deductions, we are at 1,300. 1,400, including the costs.
You had 85 euros in the first month. Come on, give us the numbers now. So,
I can also tell you right now, roughly speaking, so up to now, planning this out for about 2 months, I'm at about $2,000 in gross revenue.
yeah, that's definitely very good. So still, even after taxes, there will definitely be, well, whatever's left, God willing. No, I'm happy. 2K. Giuseppe, what's up, bro?
Yeah, not much. How about you?
Same here, man. Glad to hear it. I'm Fatih.
You too.
I don't think we've talked before, have we?
No, not yet.
Since when have you been here, bro?
I've been here since the 14th, since February.
Perfect. A fresh 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Nice. How's it going for you? How much money have you made so far?
So in total, I've made 325 euros so far.
Made. Perfect. That's good. In 2 weeks, you've already covered your software costs. If we assume you'll make another 300 in the next 2 weeks. Yeah, bro, how's it going for you? Are you managing all right? Are you satisfied so far? So guys, a wonderful good day to you. Let's keep going. I'm opening my eBay account again. I am now logging into the seller dashboard. As you can clearly see here, thank God, we have received 6 brand new orders today. Yesterday and today, we've made over 100 euros in sales. That's the current status of my eBay account. I have some new eBay homework tasks to work on once again. In addition, I've just received 6 new orders to process. Slowly but surely, the sales are coming in, the revenue is coming in. I've broken the 100 euro sales mark in the past 2 days. Right now, I am going to do my homework so that my eBay algorithm keeps on getting boosted. Here we have a price offer. For that, I click here on reply. In this example, the customer offered me 17 euros. Here, with this button, I can retrieve the original product on Amazon. As you can see, the product would also cost me about 17 euros. Now I can decide whether to accept or decline the offer. My goal is to warm up my eBay account and optimize my algorithm. Sales generate more sales. That's why for now I'm not focused on profit, but only on making sure that I warm up and activate my eBay algorithm. That's why I'm going to accept this as well. Give or take 1 cent. Here I would have basically made a gross profit of 1 cent. But it's not about making a financial profit here. It's just about gradually warming up my eBay algorithm when all is said and done. To do this, accept the price offer. Confirm everything again. Once I have accepted the price offer, let's head back to the seller cockpit. As you can see, this specific offer now appears listed under not yet paid. As soon as the customer has paid, this order will also appear under not yet shipped or print shipping label. Let's continue with the homework assignment. As you can see, I also have the option here to send out a special price offer for 23 listings. We should definitely make sure to do that as well so that the algorithm can be activated. To do this, I select all 23 items here and click on Send Price Offers. Again, I enter 5% here. Send price offers. Confirm everything. Let's head back over to the seller cockpit once again. Here I have an important unread message from an eBay member. Here the customer has a specific question about the product. Here he is asking me how big the letters are. Here, using this magnifying glass, you also have the option to view the original product. I will go ahead and download this specific image right here. I'll save it to my computer and then share this file directly with the customer so that, God willing, his question will be fully answered. Good day. Attached, you will find a sample example including size information. Period. I would like to thank you and wish you very pleasant days ahead. Best regards, Pater. Customer service is absolutely everything, friends. Don't ignore these messages. The eBay algorithm also keeps track of when you respond to customers. You should always reply even if it's just a "thank you, have a nice day." I also still have some unread messages from eBay here. I will also mark all of these as read. Back to the eBay seller cockpit. This task is now also completed. The messages are now at 0 as well. So that means I just need to process my 6 remaining open orders. I'll take care of that now as well. For that, I always like to start from the bottom and work my way up. Here, view details of the purchase. Scroll down, copy, autolink. I open my Amazon One profile. The TrackerBot window will open up in the background, carefully synchronizing all of my orders with the TrackerBot account. Simply right-click, paste, and execute. Afterwards, the order should be handled and processed completely automatically. I track the process. If there are any errors, I would intervene if necessary. 99% runs automatically. You would only need to check at the end. The quantity is increased automatically. The whole thing is marked as shipped. A note is also added to the system automatically. When you see your profit here, it means the order has been finished. Then we will double check everything once more. For that, I need to refresh the page. Afterwards, as you can see, the whole thing was marked as shipped. The quantity was increased. An additional note containing the order details from Amazon was also successfully added to the list. If I now manually refresh this entire page once more, the last order should disappear. After that, I can process the next order here via Order Details. Scroll down and copy the auto link. Next, I'll open my Amazon account. Select one profile, open a new tab here. Right-click, then paste and go. This order was also completed successfully. I refresh the page again. I check everything once more. The whole thing was marked as shipped. Additionally, the quantity was increased. There is also a note here with my order details. This order was also completed successfully. I refresh the page again. This order should now also disappear from the list, and I can process the next order. Once you have processed all your orders, you can check everything again under Paid and Shipped. What should I pay attention to? I check whether at least 2 available is shown everywhere for the quantity, and I make sure that a note is attached everywhere here. If I scroll down now, I can quickly and easily review all of the information. All my orders ought to be associated with a note number along with the Amazon order number. Back to the seller cockpit. As you can clearly see, we have some new eBay tasks to manage. We also have a request for a cancellation right here. So let's take a closer look at that now. To do that, I click on it. In this case, the customer made a purchase and now they want to cancel the order. The reason for this is ordered by mistake. In such cases, I always make sure that if I haven't shipped the item out yet or if I haven't processed the order yet, I can still take action. Then, as a rule, I cancel the purchase if I haven't processed the order yet. If the package has already been sent to the customer, then I decline the cancellation request and inform the customer that the package has already been shipped and that they would need to initiate a return through the eBay platform. Now, here. In this example, I haven't processed the order yet. In this example, the package hasn't been shipped to the customer yet. There is absolutely nothing stopping me from immediately accepting this cancellation request. To do this, I click on More Details, confirm the acceptance, send, and the cancellation is successfully finalized. You don't need to do anything else here. Back to the seller cockpit. As you can see, we have an unread message. We should also take a look at that right away. The customer just said thank you. Additionally, I noticed here that I still have 2 unread messages from the eBay system. I've also marked those as read. Back to the eBay seller cockpit. Now, all the tasks are truly finished. I have also read through all the messages. I have processed all my open orders. Slowly but surely, the account is warming up. That's exactly what we want. Every day, things should go up a little bit. Yesterday, I broke the €100 sales mark. Today, it was 120. God willing. Tomorrow, 150. That's how you have to work every day. Whenever you log in, you have to do your eBay homework. You have to read your messages. You have to answer customer messages. After that, you have to process your orders. I'm also done for today. We'll continue tomorrow. Very important, friends. Please log into your TrackerBot account. Check whether the conversion is being done automatically. How can you check that? Under normal circumstances, whenever an orange Amazon tracking number is received by the system, it should automatically convert it into a blue publicly trackable tracking number. Now here, in our specific example, it didn't automatically process it for these 2 orders. The specific reason why this happened is, first of all, I'm still in the trial phase, so I would need to officially subscribe here first. Even though we've already entered our credit card information here, we have not actually completed the subscription process yet. We're currently still on the trial subscription. There you have 20 credits available. And if you remember, we selected the service provider where we use 3 credits for each conversion. That means I would first need to purchase a plan here so that I automatically receive credits. To do this, I click on Activate Plan. This business package is the one I recommend to you. There you have enough credits. All my members use the business pack, and that's very important. Friends, the Paste Me Copy, Paste tool, you don't need that. It's meant for use with the TrackerBot. With the plugin, it automatically copies the addresses from eBay to Amazon. With us, the EcomSniper plugin handles that, so you don't need the other tool. Here, you have your 15% discount. Additionally, you still have to pay 19% VAT, so don't get confused here. Then simply click on Purchase and confirm everything again. Afterwards, your subscription with TrackerBot should also be completed. For these 2 orders, I would have to manually process the conversion again. To do this, I scroll to the right and click here on Delivered. After that happens, the Amazon page should load up where I can see the tracking number. Simply right-click to copy this link and then navigate back over to TrackerBot. Then I can select the tracking service provider here via Convert Tracker. Amazon is the supplier. Right-click, paste, convert and upload. Afterwards, I should also receive a public tracking number from TrackerBot. Now here we have another order that also needs to be completed. Next, click on Delivered, right-click, and then copy the link. Now let's head back over to the TrackerBot dashboard. Simply click right here on the button for Convert Tracker, select your specific service provider, Amazon, right-click, paste, then click on Convert and Upload. Here as well, I should now receive a publicly trackable tracking number. If I refresh my TrackerBot dashboard again, as you can see, more credits have been used here. If I scroll down, there should now also be a blue one everywhere. There is an orange tracking number. So there should be a public trackable tracking number available. These orders have not yet been shipped by Amazon, so we still have to wait for the shipment. Pay attention to this, friends. People tend to forget it. Even if you enter your credit card information in TrackerBot, you haven't subscribed yet. You're still in the trial phase and have 20 credits. After that, you should activate your subscription. That's it. Yo, guys, what's up? A wonderful good evening to you all. Let's continue. With our eBay account, I'm logging back into my eBay one. Profile, click on the Seller Hub. And as you can clearly see, I have quite a bit of eBay homework to do once again. Thank God I actually had some really great new sales come in today. That's also completely normal, friends. On eBay, you will always reach the peak. After the peak, it goes down a bit. In the next few days, the algorithm should build up again. What homework do I need to do? I immediately notice that I have 5 unread messages here, and I have a request to cancel a purchase. In addition, 2 buyers have already sent over offers to me. I should take a look at these and respond to them. I am personally able to send out offers for 19 different items. These are the specific eBay users who, while they were logged in, have clicked on my items. You can send these users an offer afterwards. It's important, friends, that you understand all of this. We only do the eBay homework to signal to eBay to show the algorithm that we are active and that we carry out everything the algorithm tells us or suggests. So that, God willing, we can take our account to the next level, that the algorithm is warmed up and that the account boosts sales. 2 out of these 5 unread messages are from eBay customers. That means I know I now have 3 unread messages from the eBay system. In addition, I also have my open orders that I need to process, which is very important. My friends, for instance, if you finished all of your homework yesterday at 7 p.m. and then today when you log in. For example, yesterday we actually had an order at 10 p.m. This is currently automatically marked as shipped by the tracker bot. Among all the orders, I check whether the tracker bot has already marked something as shipped. This is exactly where I left off last time. Then we had a cancelled purchase, and as you can see, there is actually an order from the tracker bot here that has clearly already been marked as shipped. Of course, right now I must not forget this order, and I should make sure to process it first. After that, I should then process these 2 new orders, which are also shown in the cockpit. This is very important indeed, friends. Don't forget that. Now I'm going to quickly take care of the homework. Here we have a cancelled purchase. I have neither processed the order nor has the item been shipped. Therefore, I can immediately accept the whole thing and the customer will get their money back. Back in the seller cockpit. Here, I'll take a look at the 2 price offers from the customers. To do this, I click on Reply. In this example, the customer offered me 8 euros. I listed the product for 11.95 euros. Here, using the Amazon button, we can identify the original price. And if you remember, we're currently building up our account. Here, I would now make a gross profit of 1 cent. Even so, I would still go through with the order here. My eBay account gets boosted. I have just received a brand new review from the customer. Additionally, I make it very clear to the algorithm that it should provide me with even more price offers. To do this, you simply need to accept the offer. Once the offer has been accepted, you then have to wait until the customer actually pays these 8 euros. The item has now ended up under Not Yet Paid. As soon as the customer pays for this item, it will also appear under Not Yet Shipped. Let's take a look at the next price offer. To do this, I click on Reply. In this example, the customer has offered me 22 euros. Now I check the product on Amazon. The product costs me 15 euros and 99 cents on Amazon. I will definitely accept this one as well. The 2 price offers are now taken care of. Now I wait until the customers pay for these items. Afterwards, they will automatically appear under Not Yet Shipped, so I can then process the order. I start by sending out price offers. As I mentioned before, for me, it is simply very important to signal to the eBay algorithm that I am an active seller, that I follow everything it suggests, that I follow its recommendations and complete all of its tasks. Next, I take a look at the unread messages. Here, the customers have replied to our automatic notification system. If you remember, TrackerBot automatically sends notifications to the customer for you. As you can see here, the customer has sent a reply to you saying, enjoy the product. I also look at the next message. Delivery was successful. Thank you for the information and the fast shipping. Now the vegetable pre-cultivation can begin. Greetings from Hamburg. Enjoy the product. Best regards from Hamburg. Back. I have now processed the 2 customer messages. Next, we have 3 unread messages from the eBay system. We can quickly and easily mark them as read. Back to the seller cockpit. As you can see, I still have 2 open orders. Additionally, on top of that, I still have the 1 order that was already automatically marked as shipped by Tracker bot. You mustn't forget that, friends. That was the order that was automatically marked as shipped by Tracker bot. How do I recognize that? In this case, though, there is no specific order note provided, unlike the other previous orders. Regardless, as you can see, the whole thing was marked as shipped here. That gives me the clue. This is an order that was automatically marked as shipped by Tracker bot. I would, of course, also need to process this one. This means that in total, we don't just have 2 open orders that need to be processed, but 3. Here we had already cancelled the purchase. That also appears here in your list. Furthermore, the 2 price offers we accepted will also appear listed under the All Orders section. However, here you have the note. Attention, the item has not yet been paid for. This means that right now, through the purchase details, I will begin processing the order. I scroll down and click on the button for Copy Auto Link. Now that the order has been completed, and as we discussed earlier, press the Windows key and arrow left. Next, open up your Amazon profile and press the Windows key and arrow right on the screen. With 2 monitors, you can of course work more easily and quickly. If you only have 1 monitor available, then you can do it just like I do using the Windows key. I will also go ahead and process the 2 open orders. To do this, carefully view the purchase details. Copy and save the auto link. Open a new tab. Right-click to paste and open it. Afterwards, you can track the whole process. As you can see, coupons and vouchers are also automatically redeemed. Once the order has been successfully placed, the order data is read from Amazon and then transferred over to eBay. Additionally, as you can clearly see here, my profit is displayed and the quantity is automatically increased for you. If the item has not yet been marked as shipped, it will mark it as shipped. When the order placed message appears and you see your profit displayed right here, then the order has gone through. I check everything once again. I refresh the page, and if you remember, you need to check 3 specific things. Has everything been marked as shipped? Step number 2, I check whether the quantity has been increased. That has also been done. Step number 3, do I see the notes with the Amazon order number? Here as well, the order has now been placed, so back to the seller cockpit. We still have 1 open order. To achieve that, I'll go into the details section, scroll down, copy the auto link, open up a new browser tab, right-click, paste, and open it. Right here as well, we can see that the order was successfully placed. Everything has been marked as shipped. The quantity has been increased and the note with the order number is also present. What I have already noticed about this particular item is that if I open it now in an incognito window, this is an item I have already managed to sell twice, and I am certain this product will slowly but surely become a bestseller in my shop as eBay is actively boosting this product. I am confident that more sales will be added in the future, especially when it says +20 right here. Then of course you can strategically adjust the price again. You'll also get a lot of sales there, especially as the number here gets even bigger. Now let's navigate back to the seller cockpit. No messages. All of the eBay tasks have now been completed. I'll check through the orders once again to make sure I really haven't missed anything. Those were the 2 price offers that we have already accepted. There, I'm waiting for the customers to pay. These 2 new orders also have a note. That was a cancelled purchase. That's also taken care of. That was the specific order that was automatically marked as shipped by TrackerBot. Of course, the very next day when I log into the cockpit dashboard, I don't see this order listed under not yet shipped. Everything else should also include a note with the specific order number. That all looks good so far. Since we're already in the Amazon tab, I'd like to quickly check my TrackerBot account. For that, I'll use the bookmark I have saved right here. First, I need to check to see if I still have enough credits. Regardless of all that, I scroll down and always make sure to check that whenever there is an orange number, there is also a blue, publicly trackable tracking number. As soon as I click on the plugin here, as you can see, several Amazon tabs will open and TrackerBot synchronizes with my Amazon account. When these items are shipped, the orange number from Amazon Logistics should also automatically appear within the system for you to see. Additionally, TrackerBot should create a blue public link for you from that. Within the Profile Accounts section, you can also check the last sync status. For me, that was just under an hour ago. Don't be surprised, friends, even if I synchronize manually. The synchronization in the dashboard takes a bit more time to process. That means in the next few minutes, it should definitely update here once again. Pay attention, friends. This is always the most up-to-date status you have in your TrackerBot account. Once I've checked my TrackerBot dashboard, I can safely close out the Amazon profile. Also here in the seller cockpit, we have no more tasks left. All messages have been read, all tasks are completed, and I have processed all orders. I'm still waiting for 2 payments here. Otherwise, for now, I have nothing else to do in this account. Now we'll continue with an important feature in EcomSniper, namely, we're going to talk about the CSV tracker. So how exactly can I go about updating my Amazon inventory? How can I make sure first that the prices are still correct? After all, prices on Amazon change from time to time. Second, is the item even still available? If the item is no longer available, you should also permanently remove the listing from your shop. If you happen to receive an order for an item that is no longer available, you should conduct a thorough search for a suitable alternative on Amazon by performing some detailed product research and by searching around a little bit more. There is almost always an equivalent alternative product. Otherwise, you can manually update your Amazon inventory using the CSV inventory tracker. I will show you now how the whole thing works. To do this, we go to our EcomSniper plugin. First, I click on Open Tracker. Then you can select Open CSV Tracker right here. When you click on this button, the first step should be to synchronize your current listings from eBay. Here, your eBay listings are basically imported first into the system. As you can see, a CSV file was automatically downloaded to your device. This file was also automatically imported into the platform. It automatically detected 522 listings here. As you can see, I currently have 622 items listed as well. After synchronizing my 622 listings with the CSV tracker using the Get Listings from eBay button, I can now start the process by clicking Start. And as you can see, the current price on Amazon Shui is now being carefully checked and verified for every single item in the list right down here. Additionally, it also checks whether the item is available for delivery. You can only run this scan one time. Once that is complete, we can efficiently update the stock and prices for all items in a single step. Currently, it processes 5 tabs at the same time. If you increase this, your IP could end up on Amazon's blacklist. That is exactly why I recommend sticking with the standard default settings. Once the 622 Amazon listings have also been fully synchronized, scroll down and click on the Update Listing button at the bottom right corner. Then you can choose here whether you want to update only the stock, the prices, or both of them at the same time. I am not quite ready to update my prices just yet. If I were looking to make that change, for example, to increase all of my listings to a minimum margin of 40%, I could set the global markup to 40% right here. Additionally, I could also manage specific pricing rules in this section. However, I don't want to do that. For me, the most important thing right now is to make sure that I only offer products in my shop that are actually available for delivery. Updating prices is not something I recommend you do often, friends. Make sure to update your stock levels every single day. There is nothing wrong with that. However, when it comes to prices, I would be careful. If you adjust all your prices too often at once, it can negatively impact your algorithm. I will also clearly outline here exactly what should be done with items that are currently not available for delivery. Out of the 622 items, I currently have 37 in stock. Either it sets the quantity to 0, which is what I'm doing right now, or it completely ends the listing. If these listings are available again during the next scan, the quantity will simply be increased. That's why this is also the better way. Otherwise, you could also set the quantity directly here. I leave this setting set to 1 by default and then click on Update Listings to eBay. A CSV file should now be uploaded here automatically within a few moments. Furthermore, eBay will now begin processing the uploaded CSV file. Once it has finished with the various statuses, you can download the result here again to review the specific details of the results. Here too, you will receive confirmation in the CSV tracker that the upload to eBay was successful. If we take a look under the active listings section, I can organize and sort all of the items here by quantity. And as you can see, it has successfully updated and changed the 37 listings that are currently out of stock on Amazon to 0. This means that customers can't purchase them right now either. If these items become available again during the next scan, the quantity will automatically be increased to 1 again. That was the CSV tracker, my friends, a very important feature in EcomSniper. As I said, I would check the Amazon inventory almost daily. However, when it comes to prices, you need to be careful, friends. Especially if you have a larger shop, for example, with over 10,000 items. Just don't change all the prices at once. That can mess up your algorithm. Very important. Please pay attention to my words now. No one tells you the truth. I am telling you the truth. I'm showing you the flip side of the coin. I'm warning you. Now let's move on to another very, very important feature of EcomSniper. This is a game changer in the market. And it's the following, friends. As you know, our software is often stolen by other communities, etc. That makes us very proud, thank God. It just shows us that we are the best. Back then, when I started all of this anew in Germany together with my bro Atakan, we had a lot of problems at first. We made a lot of cash. But at the same time, we also received a lot of cease and desist letters. Most of these cease and desist letters, unfortunately, were because of the images. You are not allowed to use images for which you do not have licensing rights. That's exactly why we only use the first image, because the first image has a white background. Regardless of that, you can't just get a cease and desist letter so easily because of such images. If, on the other hand, the product is photographed by a photographer in a special location and you use exactly that photo, then you will most likely receive a cease and desist letter for it. Pay attention to this, friends. Nowadays, people make their money just from sending out cease and desist letters. There are organizations that have nothing better to do than to send cease and desist letters to eBay sellers like you. They even try to do it. Often they don't even have a real reason, but you still get hit with a cease and desist letter. That's why it's important to have a community behind you. We have experience in this area, and we've solved a big problem with cease and desist letters thanks to our AI revolution. Specifically, the following. Because of the images, God willing, we will no longer receive cease and desist letters. Regardless of that, regardless of the images, you can also get a cease and desist letter for other reasons. For example, we had a case where someone listed a toothbrush and used the term ultrasonic toothbrush. Because of this ultrasonic term, you can get a cease and desist letter. There are associations that will send you a cease and desist letter specifically because of this term. That's why it's also important that you add our blacklist from the Telegram group to your software. Let's start from the beginning. How did we solve the problem with the images? As I said, friends, EcomSniper, it's not for nothing that so many communities copy us. It's not for nothing that almost every week I see a new version of EcomSniper with a different logo, with a different name. Embarrassing. Problems exist to be solved. We solved this problem thanks to the power of the new AI revolution. I'll show you now how we approach this. Step number 1. To get started generating your product images with AI, the first step is logging in at airstudio.google.com. Next, once you are logged in, click on Get API Key. Next, I'm going to click on Create API Key. I'll just name it EcomSniper and let it generate the new key for me right here. Once the new API key has been successfully created, you can simply copy it to your clipboard by clicking Copy API Key. Additionally, you also need to make sure you set up all your billing information under the Payments section. To get started, you first need to add a valid payment method right here. I had already added a credit card to my Google account. I can complete the account setup right here. I just need to confirm my identity once more here. When you stop to consider everything you're getting from this AI, the costs are honestly just a complete joke. Once you've successfully copied your new API key, and if you've already added a payment method under the expenses section here, you can now go ahead and import that API key into EcomSniper. To do this, right-click on the plugin and select Options. Then we scroll down to the section titled Use AI-generated image in bulk list. After doing that, you'll just need to paste your API key into this box right here. Also, my friends, please make sure that these two specific check marks are correctly set as well. And if I now go ahead and save everything down here at the bottom and open up a product page on Amazon, I can finally test the whole thing out. I'll click right here on the Generate Image button. As you can clearly see, a brand new image should now be automatically generated from this original picture by utilizing the power of the AI revolution. These images were not created by professional photographers. Others do not have the necessary licensing rights for these images. And you can use these images on eBay without any legal issues or concerns. This is truly a game changer, friends. Right now, we are the only ones on the market. All the others will surely follow suit now after they've seen my video here. Especially all the fake communities and copycats here in the German-speaking world. This is an absolute game changer, friends. Really, this used to be a dream of ours. Thankfully, Sammy, the CEO of EcomSniper, has finally fulfilled this wish for us. I've already shown you the CSV tracker and how you can easily update your Amazon inventory and prices. Furthermore, I also demonstrated how you can use AI to create brand new product images without constantly getting those annoying warnings for it. Next up, let me take a moment to show you the blacklist. For the blacklist, you need to simply right-click on the options menu again, friends. If you scroll down here now, you'll already find a comprehensive list from EcomSniper that has been specifically tailored for Germany. However, I recommend you select Use My List, then you can also edit everything here. Join my Telegram group. There you'll find a very long and detailed list. This list here is maintained by Sami. It's possible that this list is not completely up to date. I would choose Use My List, join my Telegram group. There you'll find the current blacklist. You can then copy and paste it here. Press Ctrl A to select everything. You can replace everything here once again. And then by clicking Save, you can save all your work. Here's an example, friends. I don't want any sex toys or similar items in this category to be sold. As you can see, a blacklist word was found here. That is exactly why the automated bulk posting tool would not list this specific link or this item and would instead skip it entirely because it contains a restricted blacklist word. It would then bypass the entire entry and move on to the next link available. This is crucial for your success, my friends, so please make sure that you especially copy and paste the current list very carefully. Try it out for yourself. Check to see if Ultrashawl is now included in the list. If that is the case, then as I previously mentioned, you can save your entire list again right here by clicking on Save. This is my exclusive member group located here within the 10K plan category. Once you are inside, you will find some truly awesome and valuable information. And thank God some of our dedicated members have already successfully cracked the milestone of 10,000 per month. Whether that's gross or not is not the most important thing for now. We believe that as a community, we've developed the best possible plan for eBay so that you can get the most out of it, allowing you to achieve a lot with very little investment right from the very start. I myself come from very modest and humble beginnings. For example, there are other dropshipping coaches out there who charge $10,000 for some courses. Back then, I could never have afforded that, my friends. I didn't even have the 10 grand. But EcomSniper is honestly something awesome. You start with 85 euros, that's $97 for the first month. You have a 30-day money-back guarantee. Try the whole thing out. See how it goes for 29 days. As you can see, in just 7 days, I've already made back the money for the software and double that, and I've only been doing this for a week. However, if you want to stay active on eBay in the long term, earn money with it over time, and scale up in the long run, you obviously need to pay attention to a few things. In Germany, you can register your business retroactively for up to 3 months. So what does that mean for you? You should only use your private account for a maximum, really a maximum of 3 months. By then, at the latest, you should or even must switch to a business account. If you are absolutely convinced, if you have made the decision yourself and told yourself, hey, I want to go through with this. I want to build my business now. I'm enjoying it. I have already personally tested the whole thing. I am absolutely and fully convinced, then you should definitely switch to a business account. But I also have to mention here, the later you do it, the better it is for the algorithm. Why? It's simple. If your overall service status has been consistently in the highest possible range for a few months, if you can show a significant amount of traffic and activity in the last 30 to 90 days, and on top of that, your sales are very strong during the period when your eBay account is well warmed up and well prepared, then later on, when you eventually switch to a business account, you will find that the entire process will be much easier for you. The reason for this is that when you sell commercially, you are required to pay both transaction fees and listing fees. If you remember, with a private eBay account, you don't pay these transaction fees to eBay. But with a business account, of course, you definitely do have to pay those fees. Depending on the category, this changes on eBay. You can take another look at the list, eBay fee categories, and fees for commercial sellers. Here you can read through everything again at your leisure. Here, for example, with sneakers, eBay would charge 7% for amounts from 100 euros up to 990 euros. You can take a look at the general overview here. To put it simply, friends, that's the specific strategy I followed. I initially created a private account and sold with it for about 1 to 3 months. Afterwards, I switched this account over to a professional business account, and after selling as a business seller for at most 1 to 2 months as an eBay merchant, I applied for the STARTE program. The STARTE program, my friends, is honestly the very best thing that can happen to you. Join my community today and ask the others about their experiences. Everyone starts to smile when they hear about the eBay STARTE program. So, what exactly is it? eBay helps new sellers get the best possible start in the competitive world of online sales. To do this, eBay offers its new active sellers a comprehensive starter program. In this starter program, you have several advantages. If you are operating commercially, you have to purchase a shop subscription. There are different shop subscriptions depending on your needs. For example, for 80 euros a month, you can list 2,500 items. With the starter program, you get this shop subscription free for 4 months. For instance, you could already save 320 euros here. 8, 16, 24, 320 euros. Regardless of that, you have 3 months. And this is the awesome part. You have 3 months with no transaction fees, friends. You just have to imagine it as the same as a private account, only on a commercial basis. And now here is the truly awesome part, my friends. That is exactly why I am telling you right now. Be smart, prepare your account, and warm it up thoroughly. Once it is warmed up and you have switched over to a business account and then later applied for the starter program, by that point, you will have a warmed up converting eBay account, which means you can really get the absolute most out of the starter program. In the starter program, since several months will have passed by then, we list with at least a 100% margin. This is really the period when you can make a lot of money. Additionally, you'll also be assigned a dedicated advisor from eBay. These people are your primary contacts at eBay. They give you expert tips and tricks, have regular scheduled calls with you, and go through your shop in great detail to help you get the absolute best results out of your eBay account. This is very important, my friends. A very nice example. Really, I am very, very grateful to eBay. The great thing about eBay is everyone gets a chance. It's not a case of the big fish eating the small fish, but rather the algorithm gives everyone a fair shot on eBay. As you've seen here in my course so far, with a brand new account, I managed to make nearly 30 sales within a week. That's the plan, friends. After the initial starter program is over, I always say, there comes the inevitable down phase because then you suddenly start paying significant transaction fees for all of your sales. Of course, Your total profits at the end of the month will also be quite a bit lower than they were before. But that is exactly where the experts at Team Vatipatan come into play once again. From the very moment that you have basically completed the initial starter program, that is exactly when we start scaling up with the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and even the 10th eBay account. That's also the awesome thing, my friends, about eBay. You're allowed to have multiple shops. Of course, there are certain requirements you have to meet there as well. An item must never be listed in multiple shops, and in general, each shop should basically have its own category. That's how eBay allows it. However, it is absolutely essential that you clarify this once again with your personal advisor in the Fast Track program, so that they can also make a formal note in the system to ensure you never get banned from eBay in the future. If you have already been active as a commercial eBay seller, then you can unfortunately forget about joining the Fast Track program altogether. However, in exceptional cases, I have seen eBay still provide access to the Fast Track program. For example, I had already been an active commercial seller on eBay for years. However, to be honest, I had some racist experiences over the phone with eBay, and then I complained about it in the eBay community, and eBay actually responded to that. They apologized to me, wanted to make up for their mistake, and as a gift, they gave Fatih Patan the Fast Track program afterwards, even though I had already been active on eBay for years. Friends, that's exactly why I love eBay. That's exactly why I'm a big fan of eBay. eBay is simply the best, and honestly, respect to all the eBay employees from the Fast Track program. Thanks to you, my community is earning a lot of money. So guys, today marks the 10th day. So far, I have secured 64 orders, resulting in a total turnover of 1,010 euros, with a profit margin of between 30 to 50%. So far, I've pocketed 320 euros, earned, and that within 10 days. That's the current status, my friend. As you can see, out of the 1,010 euros, eBay withheld nearly 160 euros. That basically includes the fees, the purchase, shipping labels, and so on. 850 euros and 30 cents have been paid out to me so far. For my Amazon products, I have had to pay 480 euros so far. That means I'm currently 370 euros in profit. Back to the seller dashboard. I now have some more eBay tasks to take care of. As you can see, I've received 2 price offers. I need to review and respond to those. 24 possible price offers that I can send out. In addition, I still have 14 open orders that need to be processed. And if TrackerBot has already marked some orders as shipped for me, I need to check those as well because it's possible there are actually more than 14. Also very important, I have 7 messages that I need to check. If they are eBay messages, it is enough to just mark them as read. If they are customer messages, they definitely need to be answered properly.